station of Fox Sports.
We are the Fox. We are the West.
The stretch run for the West Division title officially begins for your Rangers tonight. With 19 games remaining, it's all West all the time, beginning with the Seattle Mariners. This drive for a third straight West crown starts out with Yu Darvish on the mound. Here we go, Ranger fans, as the push to the playoffs gets underway next. With cloudy skies overhead, the atmosphere is anything but cloudy in Rangers Stadium as the Rangers get set to take on the Seattle Mariners in Game 1 of this three-game weekend series. Welcome in, everyone, as you take a look at the AL West. The Rangers with a three-game lead over the A's, 7.5 over the Angels, and 16.5 over these Seattle Mariners. 19 games left to play, and the breakdown, 6 each with Seattle and LA, and 7 with Oakland. It should be an interesting three-week ride, so buckle your seatbelts, everybody. We're going to get underway here in a minute. Along with Tom Grieve, I'm Steve Busby. Glad to have you along tonight. And Tom, it's a good thing, I think, the Rangers have a night like this where Yu Darvish can take the hill when he's opposing a fellow countryman. It should add to the excitement there.
Yeah, it should be a very interesting ball game, Buzz, and you really love the way that Yu is throwing the ball. His last 4 starts have been terrific. The main thing he's done in his last 4 starts, he's cut down on his walks. He's only walked a handful of guys in those 4 starts. His stuff has been dynamic all season long. It continues to be. Now that he's cut down on his walks, it makes him even tougher. It's a good challenge, however, for him tonight because he has not pitched well against Seattle. He's lost 2 out of 3 decisions, and in those 3 decisions, his ERA is hovering somewhere around 9. So I know he feels compelled to go out and pitch a good game against a team that's given him a lot of problems.
Yeah, when you add a little bit of incentive to Yu Darvish, there's no telling what you're going to get. It may be really, really good. It's been good already, but the Rangers hoping it steps up just a notch going down this stretch win. Well, Josh Hamilton back in the lineup. The Rangers back at almost full strength as they get set to take on the Seattle Mariners. Game 1 coming up for you right after this on Fox Sports Southwest. Southwest is brought to you by the Built Ford Tough Truck Event. Enjoy huge savings on America's best-selling truck for 35 years running. Ford is the best in Texas. A little damp at the ballpark, not bad. A very light mist falling most of the afternoon here in Arlington. Field very playable, and before we get things started, let's head down to the umbrella-less Emily Jones, Em.
For now, at least. You and Tom talked about Yu Darvish, and it appears this entire Ranger starting rotation as a whole is hitting its stride here in mid-September. 3-1 with a 3.06 ERA in their last 8 games. Ron Washington says their timing is impeccable.
The good thing about it is they've been giving us chances to win ball games, and so far we've been taking advantage of it. I know there's disappointment when you don't sweep people, but I'll continue to take winning series, and the only way we can do that is our pitching have to give us a chance, and our offense have to put some runs on the board, and we've been doing that. And then last night one just got taken from us.
Ron Washington with tonight's Geico quote of the game, and Wash says he'll take last night's situation every time out. Of course, Joe Nathan blowing his first save since April 11th, but not concerned in the least about his closer, gentlemen.
All right, Emily, thank you. I don't think there's any cause for concern as Ron Washington getting set to guide his club through the last 19 games of this season and hopefully into postseason. He'll face a tough Seattle team that's been playing very well of late. Here's the lineup they have this evening. Dustin Ackley, the second baseman, leads off. Michael Saunders is in center. Hitting third, the third baseman, Kyle Seager. John Jaso is the designated hitter tonight. Catching and hitting fifth, Jesus Montero. Mike Karp is the first baseman. He hits sixth. Carlos Peguero is in right field, batting seventh. Hitting eighth, the left fielder, Trayvon Robinson. And batting ninth, the shortstop, Munenori Kawasaki.
And for Yu Darvish, you see a record of 14-9, tied for 7th with 14 wins. His ERA is coming down at 4.14 based on the way he's pitched recently. 196 strikeouts, that's the 4th most in the American League. And his last start at Tampa Bay was a solid start, terrific start as a matter of fact. 8 innings, only a couple of hits and 1 earned run. He's on a good roll right now. His last 4 starts have resulted in 29 innings and only 6 walks. That's a huge improvement. He's tied for 3rd with the most walks at 85, but in his last 4 starts, he's dramatically cut that walk rate down.
So Yu Darvish set to work to Dustin Ackley to start things off, and the first pitch of the ball game is a strike on the inside corner.
And that's a pitch, Buzz, that he seems to be using more and more. The cut fastball seems to be a pitch he's got a great deal of confidence. Not only that he can get it out, but he can throw it for a strike anytime he wants to.
That off-speed breaking ball hangs outside. It's 1-1. You think that's a product of him seeing more left-handed hitters than he probably did in Japan in each lineup?
Yeah, maybe. It seems like earlier in the season he was throwing more sliders.
1-1 pitch, a broken bat. Look out, folks. Mike Brumley, the first base coach, having to dodge both the bat and the ball. Now let's take a look at the Ranger defense, brought to you by Home Depot tonight. Murphy, Hamilton, and Cruz left, center, and right. Moreland, Kinsler, Andrews up the middle. Michael Young had third base tonight, and Giovanni Soto behind the plate handling Yu Darvish. And the umpiring crew this evening, Tim Welke calling the balls and strikes. Paul Schreiber at first. Mike Everett at second. Laz Diaz is down at third base. Tim Welke, of course, the veteran crew chief.
They were talking about throwing more sliders early. It was a good pitch for him. I'm wondering if maybe he feels like his cut fastball is a pitch he can command better and throw more strikes with. And he's having success with it.
2-hopper out to Kinsler. Sidearms over to Moreland. That is an out on 4 pitches.
A pretty good combination there. He jammed him and smashed his bat with a cut fastball in, then threw a 2-seam fastball tailing away, and Ackley hit it right off the end of the bat. So good sequence of pitches there, and all thrown for strikes.
Yu Darvish, as you mentioned, Tom, the last 4 starts have been very, very solid. And the thing I like about him that we talked about when it happened, which was about a month ago, he had a ball game where he was getting beaten around pretty well, and he looked like he lost that mound presence, that look of determination that he seems to have refound. And I'm glad to see him get it back in a very short period of time. It only happened in 1 ball game, and that was about it. Pitch to Michael Saunders, down and in with that cut fastball, and it's a swinging strike one. Saunders at 249, 1 for 8 in his career against Yu Darvish. As Tom told you, the Mariners have beaten up on Darvish pretty good. He's worked 16 innings against them and given up 16 runs. That swing by Saunders might have been a defensive swing to keep the ball from hitting him. That thing was really coming in on him.
Good cutter. He definitely looks much different now than he did earlier in the year. Number one, he's throwing a lot more strikes, but his repertoire, I think, is a little more refined now. He's not throwing 7 different pitches all the time.
Tried that cutter again and just missed inside. That one at 94 miles an hour. A ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, and it's probably oversimplifying it to say he's throwing more fastballs, because his fastball is a 4-headed animal. And he throws that cut fastball, a 4-seam fastball, a 2-seam fastball, make it a 3-headed animal. Now the 1-2 pitch. Hit well to right field. Cruz is going back. He is at the track and reaches up to make the catch. And a lot of nights that ball is back on the home run porch. Not tonight, however. And Saunders a long out. That's 2 away.
Let's see where this cutter is. Well, it gets the center of the plate. It looked like he's trying to throw it in to jam Saunders, which he probably would if he did get it in. But he caught the middle of the plate and got away with it. Right to the wall, but that's it.
Nelly Cruz with just enough room to put it away and use the padding to cushion it a little bit. So 2 gone. Here's Kyle Seager. Seager, the young third baseman, brings in a 4-game hitting streak. And he chops that first cut fastball foul. It's 0-1. Seager drawing a lot of rave reviews from the folks that follow the Mariners. They feel like he has really solidified a leadership role on this ball club, and they were looking very badly for a leader. We had to be one of the young guys, and one of the guys that's going to be around for a while, and Seager fits that bill. Fastball, belt high strike. It's 0-2.
Well, he's having a good year too. He's a good ball player. He's going to hit 30 doubles, probably hit 20 home runs, might knock in 90 runs. Not a huge strikeout guy. Plays a number of different positions. So he brings a lot to the table for a young player. He's a good ball player.
Darvish the advantage in the count. And the right-hander is set. 0-2 pitch.
The other thing about Seager, he was a high draft choice. I think he was a 3rd-round draft choice, but he wasn't one of their highly touted top of the 1st round kind of guys. But at least early in the career of a lot of their young players, he's the one that's beginning to distinguish himself the most.
Giovanni Soto flashing the sign out. Darvish is ready. 1-2 is hit pretty well to center field. Hamilton is going back. He has room onto the warning track, and Josh hauls it down. So Yu Darvish using most of the ballpark here in the 1st inning, but it's a 1-2-3 inning for Darvish and the Rangers. Rangers will come to bat in a scoreless ball game. And Ron Washington has cobbled this lineup together. Not cobbled together, it's one that he uses an awful lot. Ian Kinsler will lead off. Elvis Andrews, the shortstop, is next. Josh Hamilton bats third place center. Batting cleanup, the DH tonight. It's Adrian Beltre. Nelson Cruz in right field. Hitting sixth, the third baseman, Michael Young. David Murphy is in left, bats seventh. The catcher, Giovanni Soto, follows. And Mitch Moreland bats ninth and plays first base.
Hisashi Iwakuma is on the mound, and he's having a nice season. He started off the season in the bullpen, moved into the rotation. He's done a great job. He's 6-4, 3.39 ERA. Since the All-Star break, his ERA is 2.60. That's fourth among American League starters, so he's on a nice roll. Last 5 starts, he's 3-1, ERA of 1.52, and opponent's batting average just a little bit over 2. Rangers faced him back in the middle of July. In fact, they beat him 4-0. Pitched 5 innings, gave up 7 hits and 4 runs in that ballgame. Since that time, he's pitched a lot better.
Iwakuma dealing a strike to Ian Kinsler, who steps in hitting at 266. You see, Ian had a couple of hits and 3 trips to the plate against the right-hander from Seattle, and the next pitch is high. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Ian, 16 home runs, 68 driven in the last 3 ball games. All 3 games against Cleveland. Ian hit 385. Big rip and a miss at a foul on a high fastball. Missed making solid contact. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ian with 40 doubles now. That is approaching his career high, which is just 1 more than that. That was back in 2008 that Ian had 41 doubles. The 1-2 pitch. Picked something off the breaking ball. Kind of a frisbee-like pitch there, and it's 2-2. Rangers 7-5 in the month of September. They are 33-24 since the All-Star break, and that's the identical record, by the way, that the Mariners have. Kinsler pulls one down the left field line, but hooks it a little bit too much. Home run distance just wide of the foul pole.
He had a hanging off-speed pitch to hit that time.
Home Depot bringing you the Seattle defense. Trayvon Robinson, Michael Saunders, and Carlos Peguero, left, center, and right. Karp, Ackley, Kawasaki, and Seager around the infield. Jesus Montero is handling Hisashi Iwakuma. Again, the 2-2 pitch. Kinsler drives this one to left center field. That ball is up the alley. It is off the top of the wall, and Kinsler into second base. Boy, that looked like it might have cleared the wall and hit something and come back.
Sure looked like it. It looked like it pinballed back into the field.
And we had a review the other night that gave Adrian Beltre a home run after the reviews showed that it hit past the top of the wall.
Yeah, you could see from this angle that it didn't just hit and pop straight up. It hit something and bounced back, and guys in the bullpen aren't going to say anything.
Looking at the smirk on their faces, they might say, well, we just got away with one until they get the review.
Yeah,
that's
right in the lap of the chair.
Sure did.
I couldn't tell what it hit from here, but could you see it did something funny?
Well, it was like that one the other night that went straight up in the air about 20 feet.
Yeah.
And came back to the field a little bit. You knew that didn't hit padding, which is what the wall is out there.
There'll be no doubt. They'll take about 1 second to see this one and know it's a home run.
Yeah, they'll take one replay, and then we'll be back in the field momentarily.
The one the other night was a little more difficult. They had to look at that a few times, just like we did. But that one's an easy one.
No, Ian Kinsler is either going to have his career best or tying best 41st double, or he's going to have his 6th leadoff home run of the year.
Yeah, who got one the other day? That was Beltre that stopped at second when they came back. He's the one that hit that one you're talking about. Yeah, Beltre had to stand out at second base, get a little breather, and then finish his home run trot. And that's what Ian's going to get to do in just a second.
Ian talking with Dustin Ackley out there, and hey, you saw it. Just tell him that. We don't have to go through all this stuff.
There aren't many times where you see a guy just miss a home run foul down the left field line or right field line and then get another good pitch to hit and hit a home run.
Yeah. And on top of that, it pushed the chair back a little bit. Kinsler jawing a little bit, and it is going to be a rule of home run. So Ian Kinsler will circle the bases. The Rangers lead 1-0 after one hitter. Kinsler with his 6th leadoff home run this year and his 17th home run for the season.
We got a double cheer. Fans were very excited if it was only a double. They got excited all over again when he got a chance to finish the home run trot.
Well, Beltre still has the record for the longest home run trot.
He was out there a little longer.
Yeah, it took him a good 2 minutes to circle the bases. Ian, maybe a minute. So the Rangers on top, 1-0. That's their 178th home run of the year. They came into the game 5th in the American League in home runs. First in average, first in runs scored, first in on-base percentage. Here's Elvis. Andrus at 296. Had that 9th inning triple last night, you'll remember, that extended his hitting streak against Cleveland to 32 games. Iwakuma back to the plate. Pulled his string, and Elvis chopped it foul. 1-1 the count. How about that? His last month and a half of play, Elvis has hit safely in 30 of those 37 games. That's pretty good consistency, you'd have to say, from your shortstop. Check swing, hits a strike anyway, says Tim Welke, and the count moves to 1-2.
Iwakuma's hanging some pitches up there. Might get a chance to watch a few more go out of here if he doesn't refine that breaking ball a little bit.
Back to the plate he comes, inside with a fastball. Count is now even at 2-2.
Seems like the last time we saw Iwakuma in Seattle, he was throwing a little harder than this. Fastball is 87 to 89 right now. Starting to drizzle again.
Elvis fouls that away to the right.
A lot of clouds, dark clouds, all around the stadium right now.
And a low, you get a good look up into the rafters of the light rain that is falling. Heavy drizzle, if you will. Field was covered all afternoon, so the infield especially is in really good shape.
Nice crowd tonight, too.
Yeah. Again, the 2-2 pitch. And it's inside. Count has gone full, so Elvis trying to get aboard with nobody out here in the first. Josh Hamilton back into the lineup. Iwakuma with the payoff pitch. Got him swinging.
Something other than a fastball on that 3-2 pitch. Had Elvis scored out in front of it. Change up, a good one.
Yep, that it was. So one gone, and now Josh Hamilton stepping in, the major league leader in home runs and RBI. 41 of the round trippers, 121 driven in for Josh. Hamilton missing yesterday's ball game after he got an injection of in his left knee. That's some of that lubricant that was injected in there. Synvisc, I believe it is, or something like that. Does wonders for a bad knee. 0-1 pitch. Way inside. And the count is 1-1. Hamilton with 3 more RBI than Miguel Cabrera. Next pitch to him, chopped up the middle. Backhanded by Ackley, off balance throw, and he gets Josh by a couple of steps. That is out number 2, and Adrian Beltre will stride to the plate. Adrian Beltre for the second straight night, DHing after straining his left shoulder in a dive here 2 nights ago. Diving for a ground ball, and came up a little bit sore, but he talked his way into the lineup last night, and pretty tough to get Adrian Beltre out of the lineup, especially in September. He is Mr. September, if you will. It's a strike here. Beltre, you can just go on and on about him. First of all, as far as home averages are concerned, he's a .342 hitter. You saw the September average. Adrian just going crazy, and this is not the first September where that's happened to him. Last year he was extremely hot for the Rangers. 1 ball, 1 strike. And on the inside corner, Iwakuma now with a 1-2 count. Dating back to last September, Beltre has homered in 11 of the last 17 games in which he has played. Hits this one to right field. Toward the line, Peguero. He has room in the corner, makes the catch, and that will do it. But the Rangers score on Ian Kinsler's leadoff home run, his 6th leadoff round tripper of the year. We'll go to the second inning in Arlington. The Rangers won, the Mariners nothing on Fox Sports Southwest. Top after 1. We head to the second inning, and Nelson Cruz checking some stuff out in right field. The mist had started to get a little bit heavier. Now he was kind of looking up there and wanted some windshield wipers. First pitch to John Jaso, and that is strike 1. Jaso handling the DH chores tonight. .276 the average overall, and you see he's fared well against Yu Darvish in a handful of appearances.
Jaso's a good hitter. He's one of the few guys you'll see in the league with a decent amount of at-bats that walks a lot more than he strikes out. His on-base percentage is .394. He doesn't qualify. He only has 257 at-bats. But he's a tough out. Doesn't strike out. He's got a good eye, good line drive hitter.
Fouls that next pitch down. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Probably a pretty good example for this relatively young Seattle team as to how to approach at bats, wouldn't it be?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, the more you can develop the ability to cut your strikeouts down and increase your walks, especially for some of the young guys that are going to be everyday players, guys like Ackley and Saunders and Seager, Montero, the better their offense is going to click. Better players they'll be.
Darvish with a 1-2 pitch. And that's chopped foul. Yeah, and I think that's one thing we might overlook when we talk about Seattle or bringing in a guy like Jaso. Say, what in the world are they doing that for? Well, there's There's a method behind their madness, and it's not madness at all. It's trying to help their young players develop. Especially once Ichiro was gone, there was nobody in the lineup that really had that kind of approach. Towering pop-up foul territory. Over to take a look is Mitch Moreland staring up into the raindrops, and it's back about 7 rows. Still a ball and 2 strikes. Darvish, 17 pitches so far. 13 of them have been strikes. Doing a real good job of, as they say, pounding that strike zone. Got him swinging. Pitch down and in, and Darvish, that was a pretty hard cutter that time. 92 on the radar gun. First strikeout of the night. One away, Jesus Montero coming up. Let's welcome in Jim Knox. Jim.
All right, thank you, Buzz. Nice crowd here on a Friday night, including a couple nice, interesting hairdos. Very nice. They call it the water bottle look there. Very nice. All right, Community Corner tonight. We're talking about Get Healthy Kids. That's right, Get Healthy Texas Triathlon for Kids coming up September 29th in Keller. For those interested, log on to gethealthytexas.org TV. That's gethealthytexas.tv, and it's great triathlon for kids, swim, bike, and run. They have all different levels for all age levels. So give them a call and also log on and check them out. Buzz.
All right, Jim. Thank you. You got a kind of a rowdy group out there. You get the rainfall, and the people that stay out in it are a little suspect anyway. Now, it's not that bad here tonight. It's pretty steady drizzle, but that's about it. And hopefully it'll stay that way. If not, abate altogether. Montero is swinging a miss, and it's 0-2.
Seattle has a team on base percentage of only .294. So I guess that definitely says, Buzz, that they're looking for more guys like Jason that can take a walk. The other way is to hit for a higher average. They don't have many guys hitting for much of an average. Jason, for the regulars in the lineup tonight, has the highest average at .276.
A ball and 2 strikes as that pitch was buried in the dirt out in front of home plate by Darvish.
Ackley was a very high draft choice. They expect a lot out of him. He's only hitting .232. Seager's having a solid year, but he's hitting .256. Montero, .264. Those are core guys as you look down the road for Seattle. One thing they need someone in the middle of the lineup that can hit 30 home runs.
Chopper out to short. Elvis played kind of a tricky hop, but on to first. That's out number 2. We get a look at the Mariners' offensive rankings in the American League. They are last in batting average, last in runs per game, last in slugging, last in on base, and they're 11th in home runs. That's not going to get you a lot of offensive output or consistent offensive output. Now, they have played better since the All-Star break, is that they're 9 games over 500, just like the Rangers are, but they've done it primarily with pitching, and the offense has done just enough to allow that pitching to win more than it's lost. Mike Karp, the hitter, and the first pitch to him is high for ball 1. The other thing, and we'll talk about this when the Mariners get out in the field, they are outstanding defensively. They are the best in the American League, and by quite a bit, actually. Only 57 errors committed by the Mariner defense this year. On the outside corner, it's a ball and a strike to Karp. Karp hitting just .218, but he does have that 4-game hitting streak going. Coming in here with that, 5 for 14. Mariners finishing up. This is their last stop. They had a 3-game series in Toronto, where they won 2 of 3. There's the slow hook. And Karp couldn't wait nearly long enough. A ball and 2 strikes. That's the second one that Darvish has thrown tonight. Other than that, it's been variations of the fastball. And that's good to see. Now the 1-2 pitch. Out of play to the left. Karp, 5 home runs, 20 driven in this year. He's had 3 different stints in 2012 on the disabled list that have Really cost him consistent playing time. Got him swinging. Foul tip into the glove of Giovanni Soto. So a couple of strikeouts for Darvish here in the second. Sends the Mariners down in order. After 1.5, the Rangers won, the Mariners nothing on Fox Sports Southwest. The Rangers with you. Just subscribe to MLB.tv today and see every Rangers out-of-market game live online and on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit TexasRangers.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv is baseball everywhere. Nelson Cruz starting things off for the Rangers. They're leading the Mariners 1-0 as we start play in the bottom of the second inning. Iwakuma back to the plate. Cruz, a line drive hooked into left field, and moving toward the line is Trayvon Robinson. He gathers it in.
Must hit that a little bit off the end of the bat. Just kind of died out there.
Well, Iwakuma, after giving up the leadoff home run to Kinsler, has retired the last 4. Now Michael Young will step to the plate. Michael with outstanding numbers against Seattle. The numbers for this year coming up, 269 now the average. He's driven in 62. Fastball for a strike. Michael, of course, you remember he had a 3-hit, 2 RBI game last night against the Indians. Last 3 ball games all against Cleveland. 5 for 11. 0-1 pitch. Squibbed down the first baseline, and it's foul. Michael now down in an 0-2 hole to Iwakuma. Michael with 250 career hits against the Seattle Mariners. That's the second most against any team in his career. Also has 18 home runs that are the most against any opponent. 0-2 pitch. Off speed, and it's a bit low. So Michael, as has been his custom throughout his career, having a very good September, regardless of what had happened earlier in the year. He is turning things around here.
Man, that ball looked like a knuckleball the way it dropped.
Now, it may have the effect of a knuckleball, a split-fingered fastball. Some guys throw it with very little spin on it. It's actually a forkball. Comes out.
We'll have to see if that's what he's thrown. See if we can see the grip that he gets. Whatever it was, that ball dropped straight down.
Yeah. Iwakuma again with a 1-2 pitch. Young loops one to left center field. That is going to fall for a base hit. Well, Michael's torrid streak continues. He is now 6 for his last 12. A 1-out single has him aboard in the second for David Murphy.
Yeah, that was a good pitch by Iwakuma. He ran his two-seam fastball in on the fist. He jammed Michael with his pitch. Watch the movement as it comes in. But he got enough of it to bloop it over shortstop for a base hit.
So Michael at first now with 1 out. David Murphy to the plate. Murphy, who hit in the number 3 spot last night in place of Josh Hamilton, took an 0 for 5 in that game against the Indians. Back down now in his number 7 hole that he's occupied most of the season. First pitch is a bit low for ball 1. In fact, it had been over a year since Murphy had hit in the number 3 spot. No luck so far against the 31-year-old right-hander, Isashi Iwakuma. 1-0 pitch. And it's 2-0. On base percentage, even with the 0 for 5 last night, David Murphy still 5th in the American League with that .392 on base percentage. Joe Mauer is still leading things at .414. Murphy shoots one the other way. That's a base hit. Well, that ball going out in the left field, and Trayvon Robinson had to be very careful. Murphy hit that ball like a rope, and it started scooting off that wet grass, and Trayvon Robinson backed off, and he waited for it to slow down a little bit.
I think he sliced it. Probably a little bit of spin on it, too. David just kind of reaches down and strokes that ball. And when he hits the ball off the good part of the bat, even with a modest swing like that, that ball just jumped off his bat out there.
We've talked about Murphy doing it. What allows some guys to be able to do that? Just kind of looks like they flick their wrists and yet the ball jumps.
I don't know. I could never swing like that. I think it's just it just comes naturally to David. No one taught him that, or he didn't try to develop the ability to take a ball to left field with that kind of a swing. It's just what he does.
Is that one of those God things where God just taps you on the shoulder and says, this is what you are?
The way he grew up swinging. I think the more I watch David, the more he reminds me of Johnny Damon. Takes a lot of swings like that.
The Murphy at first, Young at second. 1 out. Rangers with back-to-back singles. Giovanni Soto down on the count, 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Soto at 205 now with the average.
I think that's one thing that's turned David season around and made him a productive everyday player, is his ability to hit that outside pitch to left field. And there's been a lot of times where he's struggled with that pitch. He's had a lot of pitches called on him that look a little bit outside. But then about a couple of months ago, he moved a little bit closer to home plate. I think it's made a big difference for him.
Chopper picked by Seager. He steps on the bag, slips as he throws, and throws it wild. That will allow Murphy to round third and be held there. Dave Anderson putting up the stop sign. Murphy with a aggressive round of the base, but Anderson saw that ball was retrieved and came back into the infield. Going to be a forced play at third, an error on Seager to allow Murphy to go from second to third.
The hardest part of that play was the pickup, and then he slipped on the bag, and that caused the bad throw. Steps on top of the base. It's a little bit wet. Well, he stepped on the other side of the base. That's probably why he slipped off it, but threw his balance off for sure.
The runners at first and third, 2 outs. Mitch Moreland up there now and looking for a 2-out base hit that would get the Rangers in the lead by more runs than just 1. Strike 1 from Iwakuma. Moreland 15 home runs, 47 RBI. It just kind of slowed the pace down a little bit. You remember when he came off the disabled list at the end of July, It was hotter than a firecracker for about the first 3 weeks. Still swinging it well, but he's cooled off a little bit. Iwakuma, a check of the runners. The next pitch swung on and missed, and it's 0-2 as Iwakuma pulled the string. Moreland with 14 RBI in his last 20 ball games. He's hit safely in 6 of his last 9. Murphy down the line from third. Soto a modest lead at first. And the pitch in the dirt. Nice block by Montero. A ball and 2 strikes. And we're playing in the bottom of the 2nd inning, and Eric Wedge kind of taking a look at the conditions. He's seen a couple of things happen already in this inning. The ball scooting out to left field like it was on ice, and Seager slipping as he went to plant on the bag at third to make a throw. Now the 1-2 pitch. That will even the count to Mitch Moreland. Moreland back in there, getting his feet set. Getting out of that slightly open stance. The 2-2 pitch to center field. Saunders retreating, has room well in front of the warning track, puts it away in the side, retired. Rangers come up with a couple of hits, but they strand 2. We finished 2 in Arlington. It's the Rangers 1, the Mariners nothing on Fox Sports Southwest. Is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Head to your Texas Ford dealer and drive the best in Texas. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. Now, Yu Darvish back to the hill, and he will face the bottom third of the Mariner order. He has retired the first 6 Mariners that he has faced tonight. Carlos Peguera, Trayvon Robinson, and Munenori Kawasaki, the 3 hitters to face Darvish here in the 3rd inning. Right-hander misses outside with ball 1. Peguera just 173 in 16 major league games this year. 1 out of 3 against Darvish. Rip and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, you've thrown a lot of strikes. keeping the cutter and his two-seam fastball down. Those are the two pitches he's using predominantly. Occasionally he'll pop a mid-90s four-seam fastball. Occasionally he'll float up a slow curveball like that. Just enough to keep the hitter honest. But much like the last 4 starts, when he really wants to throw a pitch, a quality pitch, and get an out, it'll be a cutter or a two-seam fastball.
Darvish okays the sign from Soto. And the 1-2. Got him on the fist, right down the third baseline. Young backhands, long throw, not in time. Now Peguero gets out of the box pretty well, and Young had a long way to go. He was playing off the line a lot for the left-handed hitter, and Peguero, the first Mariner to reach first base, an infield single to start off the 3rd inning.
You talk about getting jammed. How he kept that ball fair. It looked like it should have gone in their dugout.
Michael did all he could. He got rid of it quickly and made a strong throw, but Peguero just too speedy going down the line. But Trayvon Robinson, switch hitting outfielder, up there next. Ball 1 is high.
Got a birthday mention for you. Stephen Newton is at the game celebrating his birthday tonight with a number of family members. Hope the rain's not spoiling your party, Stephen. Hope the Rangers get you a win, and happy birthday.
1-0 pitch. It is off the plate outside. It's 2-0. Robinson just 1 hit in his last 13 times to the plate. He needs to slap the ball around. Not a lot of power. Being a switch hitter, hitting from the left side, he's much more prone to try and slap the ball the other way. Peguero, a pretty good lead at first. The 2-0 pitch. Chopper to Moreland. He drops it, so he'll have only 1 play. And to step on the bag at first, and that's to get Robinson. That's out number 1. Peguero, though, in scoring position now with 1 out. And Kawasaki coming up.
That's too bad. Mitch was going to make a strong throw to second like he always does. He's got an excellent arm. Ball got to him so quickly, probably would have been able to turn the 3-6-3 double play. Robinson was just a little bit out of the batter's box when Mitch caught that ball, but get the 1 out.
The 1 gone. Munenori Kawasaki, left-handed hitting utility type infielder up there, getting the start at shortstop. He's been playing more of late. First pitch to him is very high and outside for ball 1.
Yeah, this is kind of a lesser version of Ichiro. He looks like him. Looks like he tries to hit like him too. Not much power though. He's been up 98 times. He only has 1 extra base hit, and that was a double.
And the 194 average would tell you that he hasn't done well in his impersonation of Ichiro.
No.
Takes a strike here. It's 1-1. Of course, I don't know that there are any hitters around that can impersonate Ichiro and get the results he does.
No, that'd be a tough one to copy.
See, the Mariners really struggling in these situations. Runners in scoring position. 178 in the month of September. Now Darvish wants Soto to come out and have a little conversation about what pitch they want to throw. If you're wondering why, how they can communicate, Darvish speaks and understands enough to be able to handle the baseball discussions. He still doesn't feel quite comfortable answer questions from the media or speak in public for fear of being misunderstood if he used the wrong word. But as far as dealing with his teammates, he's fine there. 1-1 pitch, softly up the middle. Kinsler he's going to throw to third. Young gets the short hop and the tag. What a play on both ends.
That was some kind of play. That's one you don't see very often. It just looked like Peguero thought that ball was going to be a base hit, but Kawasaki just didn't hit it very hard. He got jammed. Looked like it was headed up the middle. But it just wasn't hit hard enough so that Ian's range didn't come into play. He knew he didn't have a play at first. Nice pickup by Michael. Nice tag and get the lead runner. Beautiful play. That was going to be a base hit for Kawasaki. Ball just missed hitting the runner, too.
Wonder why Peguero's first move was back to second base.
Yeah, I don't know.
Unless he had an angle that maybe it looked like Darvish was going to be able to have a play on it.
I'm sure in his mind, as soon as he started to go to third, he thought that ball was up the middle for a base hit. 4-5 fielder's choice. That's one you won't see very often.
You don't have to write that down very often. You're right. Well, Kawasaki at first, and the first pitch to Dustin Ackley is in for a strike. Ackley began the proceedings here tonight by grounding to second base. 0 for 1 this evening. Ackley, like a couple of his teammates, bringing in a 4-game hitting streak to play tonight. Rip and a miss, and Darvish on top of the count, 0-2. And getting some scores from the games of interest. Kansas City with a 3-0 lead over the Angels up at Kauffman Stadium.
And the Angels and C.J. Wilson. C.J.'s had a struggle since the All-Star break.
Yeah. No balls, 2 strikes. Darvish checking Kawasaki, who has a big lead at first. Pitch out and no action going. This might be a tough night to execute plays where it takes handling and throwing the ball quickly. And pitch out's one of those. You just don't know what you're going to get, I wouldn't think, with a grip on the ball with the wet conditions. And I think you're going to see some plays like Seager had, where his step and his footing is not there. Next pitch is popped up. Michael Young on the left side of the infield, waiting for it to come down out of the dewdrops, and makes the catch. Side retired, no runs, a hit, and 1 man left. After 2.5, it remains the Rangers 1, the Mariners 0 on Fox Sports Southwest.
Keeper's bullpen and checking with head groundskeeper Dennis Klein and his crew. No plans on stopping this game. They are keeping a close eye on the radar. It shows a steady drizzle throughout the game. They did say the field was tarped throughout the day, so the field will withstand the hard rain, drizzle rain right here. And as far as working in between innings on the infield, they have planned that. But looking down on the warning track right now, getting a little muddy due to the drizzle, but all things look good. The game will continue. They don't see heavy rain in the forecast. Buzz?
All right, Jim, thanks for that update. Appreciate it. Dennis Klein and his group do such a great job of keeping this field in the great shape that it's always in here at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. Ian Kinsler leading off, and he is responsible for the only run of the game tonight so far. A leadoff home run in the first inning. Iwakuma falling behind at 2 balls and no strikes. Kinsler's 6th leadoff home run of the year. That is the most in the major leagues. He was going for 7 right there and kind of spun out on it a little bit. It's 2-1. Top of the Ranger order. Second time through the lineup now, and we'll see what kinds of adjustments both Iwakuma and the Ranger hitters make. Off speed, it catches the inside corner. Coors Light cold hard blast. And guess who? First inning. It took a little while to get it in the books, as that was originally ruled a double, and then the umpire and crew came back out and said, no, we take that back. You can go ahead and run the rest of the way around. Ian's chopping the next pitch foul, and it's still 2-2.
He did a good job to foul that pitch off. That was that pitch that comes in at 85 miles an hour and really drops at the end. Most of them do anyway. 40 doubles for Ian. Got a great chance to have his career high in doubles.
Again, the 2-2 pitch. Tried that front door breaking ball and couldn't quite get it to come nibble at the corner. It's now 3-2. Kinsler trying to get aboard. Elvis Andrus, Rangers' number 2 hitter, is waiting in the on-deck circle. Iwakuma going to throw his 45th pitch of the night. Got him swinging. Down and away, and Iwakuma able to get something close other than a fastball. And he gets the strikeout of Kinsler. Second strikeout tonight. Well, folks, to celebrate 40 years of baseball in the Metroplex, Metro PCS is giving away 40 Samsung 4G LTE phones. Enter to win at all participating locations. Metro PCS, wireless for all. So 1 away here in the 3rd inning. Here's Elvis, who struck out his first time up. And a strike about belt high, rung up by Tim Welke.
Iwakuma was a very good pitcher in Japan. Mariners signed him as a free agent. He was 107-69 in Japan. Had 1 year where he went 21-4. 187 ERA, and was the most valuable player of his league. That was not long ago.
Now he and Yu Darvish matched up 6 times in Japan in that Pacific League battles that they had. Darvish came away with a 3-2 edge over Iwakuma. And Elvis is gone as Iwakuma comes back with a fastball. Elvis caught looking. He is gone on strikes for the 2nd time tonight. Well, let's head back to our Fox Sports Southwest studios for a Mazda game break. Here's Dana Larson. Dana? All right, Dana, thank you. Keeping our eyes on that. Hamilton drives one. There it goes. Way back. Goodbye. Number 42 for Josh Hamilton. Two nothing Texas.
Well, Iwakuma had struck out the first 2 batters of the inning. What's Wash saying? I called that one. Wasn't much doubt about that one. Got it on the inside part of the plate. Not anywhere near the middle of the plate, but didn't have to be with that swing. Trying to throw it in. He gets it in. Right on the inside part of the plate, but not far enough inside. Probably wanted to get it in 3 or 4 more inches at least.
You better be able to throw a little bit harder than 90 when you're going to throw it there.
That's right.
You throw him a fastball there anyway. Well, Hamilton, 42 home runs, 122 RBI. Both of those the top marks in the major leagues. Here's Beltre. And he pops it up on the right side. Ackley going out, coming on Peguero. And Carlos Peguero takes care of that. That will do it, but the Rangers get another long ball. This time it's Josh Hamilton going deep, way deep. Well, we finished 3 here at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington as Josh gets one in the upper tank. 2-0 Texas on Fox Sports Southwest. On top by a pair. Top of the 4th inning. Solo home runs have accounted for both Ranger runs. Kinsler leading things off tonight. And Josh Hamilton in the 3rd inning, his 42nd of the year. Meanwhile, Yu Darvish has allowed just 1 hit through the first 3 innings of work with a couple of strikeouts and no walks. And how good has Darvish been? Well, he's had an 0-2 count on 40% of the hitters so far. 4 of the first 10 hitters that he's faced. And he's gotten them in a hole quickly at 0-2. Michael Saunders will start off the 4th for Seattle. Saunders made Nelly Cruz go all the way back to the wall to pull in his drive in the 1st inning. And the first pitch to him is high for ball 1. Saunders now at 248. 14 home runs. And Darvish back to him, and Saunders is going to have to get his bat handles wrapped before he goes up there because Darvish is wearing him out. He's getting that pitch in on Saunders almost at will. And the one that Saunders hit that he almost hit out of here was a cutter that didn't get there. 1 ball, 1 strike as Darvish gets set. 1-2.
Saunders leads the Mariners in stolen bases. 19 out of 22.
Fouls that out of play to the left. And he doesn't look like a guy that you would expect to steal a lot of bases, but he's a very fleet-footed center fielder. Big guy that really runs well. Very quick, very agile. Darvish okays the sign. Back to the plate he comes, up and in, and the count is 2-2. Darvish now with a pitch total at 46. 33 of them have been strikes, so almost a 3-to-1 ratio. And that is outstanding. Light drizzle continuing to fall, and you heard Jim Knox say chances are it'll be this way most of the night. 2-2 is jerked foul by Saunders.
Yeah, there's a slider from Darvish. Tried something a little bit different. Pretty good pitch too.
Be interesting to see after this ball game's over the breakdown of fastballs to off-speed pitches. He has thrown very, very few off-speed pitches. Again, the 2-2 pitch. Check swing. Did he go? No, he did not. The appeal down to Laz Diaz at third base. And the count has gone full. So Saunders getting to a spot that most Mariners have not tonight. And that's a full count. Yu Darvish ready. And the payoff pitch. Fouled on a play to the left. High and twisting back halfway in the lower seating area. No, the count remains full. Saunders trying to get aboard here to start the fourth inning. He'll be followed by the third baseman, Kyle Seager.
He was pitched against Seattle 3 times this year. His first start was against Seattle. Got the win in that start. Gave up a bunch of runs early in that game, but then pitched pretty well. Hung in there into the 6th inning and got the win. In Seattle, though, he's been knocked around. 12 hits in 10 innings and 12 runs. He's lost 2 games up there. 5 runs in 4 innings, 7 runs in 6 1/3.
Again, the 3-2 pitch. And again, fouled back. Now, I think the last few weeks that we've seen Yu Darvish, we're really seeing the results of the adjustments he's making to Major League Baseball. See the chart of the locations of all the pitches. This will be pitch number 10 in this at bat, and it's on the way. That's pulled foul outside first. And again, Saunders getting that pitch right down by his knuckles.
Pretty good at bat for a guy with 115 strikeouts and only 34 walks. He's hanging in there. Leads the Mariners in strikeouts.
Now Darvish has the one he wants. We'll try the 3-2 pitch again. And another foul ball. Went right over the top of the Ranger dugout. I think that young lady is going to have a mark there tomorrow. Got it right on her hand. She tried to grab that. Not a good idea without a glove. Outside ball 4, and Saunders draws a 12-pitch walk to open up the 4th inning. And let's head down to Jim Knox.
All right, thank you, Buzz. Actually, we're up here in the upper home run porch. Quite a shot for Josh Hamilton, 417 feet. And this Ranger fan had his hands on it. What happened, big guy?
Sun was in my eyes.
Sun was in the eyes. It rolled down the aisle, and Jody from Gainesville gets it. Can I see the ball? Congratulations. Just kidding. There you go. Home run ball by Josh Hamilton. What a shot. Upper home run porch just about midway through. Buzz?
All right, Jim, thank you. It's only 417. Seager takes the first pitch high for ball 1. Kyle Seager hit a deep drive to center that stayed in the ballpark, was captured by Josh Hamilton back in the 1st inning. Settled into the number 3 spot pretty well, and that 81 RBIs as Darvish goes first base way to drive Saunders back. Seager on the road much better than he is in Safeco Field. Hitting .288 away from Safeco as opposed to .214 at home in Seattle. He also got 57 RBI on the road as opposed to 24 at home. Darvish ready. The 1-0 pitch. And that off-speed delivery catches the outside corner to even the count to Kyle Seager.
And the other thing you see from Darvish with a base runner who can steal a base, a quicker move to the plate. He's made that adjustment in the last start. There's a much quicker move when there's a good runner at first base. He'll go back to the old way when there's a guy at first base who's not a threat to steal, but he knows that Saunders is, and he's not allowing him to get a jump.
Saunders has one of the most unique leadoff stances that I can think of. He almost faces second base. Watch it. He throws that right foot way out. Looks like he's in a sprinter stance.
That must be becoming popular. B.J. Upton stood like that.
Yeah,
too.
you're right. Forgotten about that. Maybe it's because B.J. Upton looks like he can run and Saunders doesn't. To me, anyway. But I know he can. Two balls and a strike. Seager at the plate. Saunders a pretty good lead at first. And the chopper foul evens the count at 2-2. Yu Darvish second in the league in most stolen bases allowed. C.J. Wilson not two behind him. Ubaldo Jimenez, though, a commanding lead in that ignominious category. That to center field. Hamilton turns, going back, still going back, reaches up and can't hang on to it. Had it in his glove, but the collision with the wall knocked it loose. Saunders stops at third. Into second with a double is Kyle Seager, and the Mariners have the first two men aboard here in the fourth inning. A walk and a double.
Seager got a pretty good pitch to hit. It put a charge in it too off the bat. I didn't think it was going to carry like it did. Then it looked like Josh was just about ready to run it down. Got the tip of his glove on it. Just didn't stay in his glove. It's going to go right off the tip of his glove. Couldn't quite get to it.
So second and third, nobody out. John Jaso, the hitter. Rangers playing the infield back, and Jaso fouls off the first pitch. Jaso went down swinging his first time to the plate. A little damage control now. Rangers with Mitch Moreland backing up. Left-handed hitter at the plate. Michael Young, the only one that is playing up at his position. 0-1 pitch. And Jaso trying to drag a bunt toward the first base side to get the run home, and he fouled it off.
That's a good attempt if you can do it. If you can pull that little bunt toward second base with Kinsler playing back in the outfield, you've got a chance to beat it out. But you've got a great chance if you hit it down on the ground and roll it to second to score a run and move the guy to third base, which is what you're trying to do. I think you might have taken a little big of a swipe at the ball. All I had to do is get the angle of the bat right and bunt it. Didn't really have to swing at it like that, but it was a good idea. Just wasn't able to execute it.
So Darvish now with a no ball, 2-strike count. Checking the runners and the pitch on the way. Hard hit but pulled foul down the first base side. And we'll come back and try it again. Now in Kansas City, an update for you. The Angels have taken the lead on a 4-3 now over the Royals. Angels scoring 4 times in the top of the fourth inning. Darvish back to the plate. And again, a hard hit foul ball.
Well, they're taking some pretty good swings. He's making decent pitches. You're just not able to put him away. Couldn't put Saunders away. Took him 12 pitches to walk him. And Jaso's hanging in there with a lot of foul balls.
Darvish to the plate. Low and outside. That two-seam fastball that just moved off the plate. 1-2 now. Darvish trying to dial up that strikeout pitch here to John Jaso. Got him the first time. Got the pitch in on him. And we'll see what he comes back with on 1 and 2 this time. Got him swinging. Really pulled the string. 68 miles an hour. And Jaso just simply couldn't wait long enough.
Yeah, pretty good pitch right there, and it's probably the right pitch to throw. All the hitters have been fouling off fastballs, two-seam fastballs, cutters, not the curveball. Again, Jaso's one of the tougher guys on their team to strike out. Darvish has got him twice. Big spot to get a strikeout right there.
The one away, and Jesus Montero, the catcher, steps to the plate. Montero, a ground ball to short in the second inning. Saunders, the runner at third. Seager, the runner at second. He's at the bottom of your screen. First pitch. Check swing on the cutter outside. The appeal down to first base, and Paul Schreiber says nope, no swing.
In the last 4 games, right-hand hitters are hitting 109 against Darvish. The 2 hits in this game have been by left-handers, a little jam shot grounder by Peguero, and then the double by Seager near the wall in center field. All season long, right-hand hitters have hit below 200 against him.
That pitch fouled back. Well, Montero, the only right-handed hitter, straight right-handed hitter in this lineup. There's a switch hitter in Trayvon Robinson, but 8 hitters that hit from the left side, and also Montero. Well, this has turned out to be a long inning. That 12-pitch at bat that Saunders had and eventually walked led to a 25-pitch inning so far for Darvish, and he has just 1 out. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. The center field, that's going to be deep enough to score Saunders. Hamilton makes the catch. Both runners tagging. The throw going to third, and the throw not in time. Saunders scores. On to third base goes Seager, and the Mariners cut the Ranger lead to 2-1. Jesus Montero with his 55th RBI of the year. So the walk, the only walk that Darvish has allowed, comes back to haunt him in this inning. Michael Saunders, that leadoff pass, and he's able to score. Now Mike Karp will step in. 2 outs with Seager at third base. Karp down on strikes the first time he faced Darvish tonight. And he hits a weak ground ball out to Ian Kinsler. On to first, that'll do it. So a pretty good job, all things considered. Second and third, no outs. Darvish gives up a run, but the Mariners strand 1. 3.5 have gone by. It's the Rangers 2, Mariners 1 on Fox Sports Southwest.
TEX is on top of Seattle in the opener of this 3-game series by a score of 2-1 as we head to the bottom of the 4th. And the Rangers offense hasn't exactly been on fire of late, but Rangers utility man and tonight third baseman Michael Young says he does like the approach they're taking as a whole.
We're swinging it pretty well. We're having good team at bats. I think we have a good game plan as a team. Every time we go into a game, we have a good idea of what we want to do, and we're doing a good job of feeding off each other. We continue to do that, we're going to be in good shape.
Still time for this thing to start clicking on all cylinders, as we've seen sporadically throughout the regular season. You've got to think that the, I guess, top to bottom cool streak that this team was on is well behind it, and probably won't happen again, at least, good Lord willing, right, guys?
Yeah, exactly, Emily. That's what the plan is this time of year. You've got to get everything ship-shape and working well. And the Rangers certainly have done that. Nelly Cruz fouling back the next pitch. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Cruz. Leading off the bottom of the 4th inning. Rangers on top 2-1. Couple of solo home runs for the Rangers and a sacrifice fly by Jesus Montero in the top of the 4th inning. Got the Mariners back within a run. Iwakuma back to the plate. And a little tapper foul by Cruz. It remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nelly, as we know throughout the years, has been very much a streak hitter. And he's in one of those streaks right now where it's 3 for 31 in his last 8 ball games.
You know the good thing about that, Buzz? It just means he's going to get hot last 10 days of the season, right when you need it most.
Foul territory, first base side, and Karp reaches into the stands to make the grab. Stayed with that ball pretty well and was able to make the catch. That's 1 out. Michael Young coming up. It's time for our AT trivia for the evening, and our question would be, on this date in 1987, Cal Ripken Jr.'s streak of 8,243 consecutive innings at shortstop ended. Who replaced Ripken at shortstop? Interesting question. I'll sit there and scratch my head for a little while too. Here's Michael Young stepping in. Young, a single to center field. Back in the 2nd inning. He takes outside for ball 1. Michael with that base hit now, hitting in an even 270. And that's skied to center field. Moving to his left is Saunders into the alley, makes the catch for out number 2. Well, folks, the final Friday home game of the regular season is September the 28th. Rangers taking on the Angels in that ball game. The post-game fireworks show will be set to Texas country music and brought to you by thescrolls.com. For tickets, call 972-RANGERS. David Murphy takes the first pitch from Iwakuma, down and in for ball 1. Murphy lashed a single to left field back in the 2nd inning. 1 for 1 tonight, hitting .315 now. Iwakuma back to him and finds the back door open with that breaking ball. Murph came in with that .313 average, which was good for 6th in the American League, so he's moved up a little bit. 1-1 pitch. Another base hit, this from the right center field, and that's picking up a little steam. Murphy is going to try for second. Baguero's throw is not in time, and David Murphy, a hustling 2-out double, is in scoring position for Giovanni Soto.
Hey, same kind of a swing as David took when he laced the ball into left field. He just kind of reaches out. This time he pulls this ball. Ball's tailing away, down and away. It's actually a perfect pitcher's pitch when you look at it. Unless you want to say a perfect pitcher's pitch is one out of the strike zone that the hitter swings at. But that hit the lower outside part of the strike zone, and David whipped it into right center field for a double.
And Murphy taking advantage of a left-handed throwing right fielder on that too, where he saw that Peguero was going to field the ball and would have to turn all the way around to throw to second. And good baseball instincts by David Murphy. Giovanni Soto a swing at the breaking ball with no success. It's 0-1. Soto reached on a fielder's choice ground out in the second inning. Rangers now 5 base hits in the first 3 2/3 innings. And Soto takes the breaking ball low. It's 1-1. Giovanni trying to break out of that 0 for 14 that he is in. And he's had some big hits. A lot of his hits have been run producers. And 17 RBI would tell you that he has made those hits count. Skied to right field. Peguero started in, now going back into the corner. Still going over, and in fair territory, tracks it down. Soto gave it a pretty good ride the other way, but the Rangers strand a runner on a 2-out double by David Murphy. We finished 4. The Rangers leading by 1. AT trivia question for tonight. This date in 87, Cal Ripken Jr. streak of 8,243 innings at shortstop ended. Who replaced Ripken at shortstop that night? How about Ron Washington? Ranger skipper took over for the Iron Man out there at shortstop. Yu Darvish working to Carlos Peguero to start off the 5th inning. Rangers leading 2-1. Peguero, an infield single his first time up as he hit one right down the third baseline that Michael Young made a good play on just to get rid of and make an accurate throw to first. But Peguero got out of the box pretty quickly, able to beat it out. Big swing and a foul ball. That evens the count at 1-1. Well, in case you folks were waiting for Mark McLemore to be here with us tonight, he had an engagement. You remember this was originally scheduled to be a TXA 21 game, and Mac's schedule conflicted with his 5th inning appearance with us tonight. So we're going to miss him. We'll have him back here on Sunday, that afternoon game, and we'll ask him twice as many questions on Sunday.
All right.
Make up for it.
Make him stay for 2 innings.
There you go. Actually, we'll put him up here, and you and I can just leave for an inning.
He might not like that very much.
Well, Peguero.
You could tell Peguero's got some big-time power. He also got some big-time ability to swing and miss. He struck out 25 times in 52 at-bats. 1 walk, 25 strikeouts. He's been up 52 times.
Well, Peguero hit 18 home runs in 49 games at AAA Tacoma this year. So when he made contact, it often meant the ball leaving the yard. 2-2 pitch from Darvish. And the count has gone full. You remember Yu Darvish working to Michael Saunders to start the 4th inning. Got him to a full count. Eventually went to 12 pitch at bat and lost him on a walk. And Saunders has scored the only run of the game for the Mariners. Peguero in a similar circumstance starting off the 5th inning. Big left-handed hitter back in the batter's box. And Darvish ready to work to him. The payoff pitch. Got him swinging. That is strikeout number 4 for Yu Darvish. And let's go to Jim Knox again.
All right, thank you very much, Buzz. Found the Texas A&M Kingsville football team on hand tonight. That's right. Tomorrow they play at Cowboy Stadium against West Texas. This is you're the quarterback, Greg Popple, and talk about tomorrow's game against West Texas. How bad are you going to win this game?
It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a real competitive game. 2 big rivals. We're all looking forward to it. We're excited about it, and it should be a good one.
There we go. How many touchdown passes can we look for?
Enough to win it.
There we go. Enough to win it. Okay, and you're out enjoying the Ranger game tonight. A lot of Ranger fans on the team, right?
Yes, sir. And,
right.
We got Mike Adams. He's actually an alumni of our school, and he's a pitcher for the Rangers, so we came to support him.
All right. Came to support Mike Adams. Good to have you out here, and good luck tomorrow night. Appreciate it. Go Javelinas, right?
Javelinas!
There we go. Buzz.
I was on the Caravan, Jim, this offseason, Buzz, and we went to Mike Adams' school, Texas A&M Kingsville, and he was inducted into the Sports Hall of Fame down there.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it was a nice night. A big honor for Mike. He was really happy with that.
Slow hook, and that settles into the bottom of the strike zone to Trayvon Robinson. 0-2 the count. Robinson, a ground out to Mitch Moreland at first. That was back in the 3rd inning. Nobody on, 1 out. We play in the top of the 5th. Rangers leading 2-1. They about hit the Mariners tonight, 5-2. 2 of the Ranger hits, home runs by Kinsler and Hamilton. Hamilton with his 42nd major league lead in that category, and Kinsler, of course, with his 6th leadoff home run of the year. That's the best in the major leagues. No balls and 2 strikes. Robinson back into the batter's box. And the pitch on the way. And right in at the feet of Trayvon Robinson. 1-2. Ford leaderboard for you this evening. Rookie strikeouts since 1900. This was after the Peguero strikeout. Yu Darvish now with an even 200. And you can see the list. Hideo Nomo leading that list since 1990.
It's not a coincidence when you see those 4 pitchers that 3 of them were Japanese pitchers. Technically they're rookies, but those are veteran pitchers in the Japanese league who came over here not as 21, 22, 23-year-old traditional rookies. It's the first year they played over here, but I think it's almost an insult to them to call them a rookie because of the experience they had in the very good Japanese league.
Darvish now with the 2-2. Chopper foul, 3rd base side. And we'll come back and try it again. Yu Darvish just turned 26 last month, and you know, you forget that he had 7 years in the Japanese major leagues over there. And by the tender age of 25, he had already become a very accomplished pitcher, not just in Japan, but on a world stage, World Cup and Olympics, that kind of thing. So he's had the experience. Call strike 3. Trayvon Robinson left standing at home plate like a fire hydrant.
Let's see if that's a striker now, Buzz. Well, it looks like a strike. That thing's all the way in the middle of the strike zone. I don't think Trayvon got a good look at that one. He's arguing with the umpire. That thing had to be called a strike.
So back-to-back punch-outs for Darvish to start the 5th inning. Now Munenori Kawasaki, and time call momentarily. Kawasaki backing out quickly, and Jim Wilkie wanted to make sure he was ready. Kawasaki on the fielder's choice ground out his first time. He's the one that hit that ball up the middle when Figueroa was at second base. Here, Brown hand center, great hands of the game, and this is the first time it was up. Figueroa at second hesitated going to third. Kinsler making a very heads-up play, and Michael Young a heads-up play and a great grab with those soft hands of his to complete that typical 4-5 putout.
That was almost a blooper ball.
That was 62 miles an hour. Go that speed on LBJ, you get run over.
Well, the fans really, it's tough in the stands to tell a cut fastball from a fastball, anything from 85 to 92 miles an hour, but they can see that pitch.
Yeah.
That gets oohs and ahs when he bloops one of those things in there.
Now the 0-2. Got him swinging. Yu Darvish strikes out the side. He has 6 strikeouts tonight. Mariners gone in the 5th. Halfway through the ball game. The Rangers 2. The Mariners 1 on Fox Sports Southwest. Porch for every game. For one low price, you get unlimited grilled chicken sandwiches, hot dogs, nachos, peanut butter, popcorn, and soft drinks. And they're all served in the air-conditioned upper home run porch grill. For tickets, go to TexasRangers.com or call 972-RANGERS. You better call pretty soon because there's only one homestand left after the Rangers finish up here on Sunday with the Mariners. It'll be Oakland for 4 games and Los Angeles for the final 3 home games of the regular season. And Mitch Moreland starting things off here in the bottom of the 5th inning. It's at ball 1 from Hisashi Iwakuma. Mitch, a fly ball to center, his only time to the plate. And he skies this one way up in the air to left center. Trayvon Robinson drifting over it and makes the grab for out number 1. And let's head back to our Fox Sports Southwest studios, a Mazda CX-5 game break. Here's Dana Larson. Dana. All right, Dana, thank you. And checking in on that Tampa Bay, New York game, as Ian Kinsler lines one to left field. That's going to settle in front of a retreating Trayvon Robinson. And Kinsler is 2 for 3. Home run and now a single. In Yankee Stadium, the Rays continuing to lead the Yankees. It's now 5-2 in the 8th inning.
Yeah, if you look at the wild card standings, Baltimore, New York, and Oakland are all right there.
So 1 on, 1 out. Here's Elvis Andrus, a strikeout victim both times tonight against Iwakuma. See if Ron Washington tries to utilize the speed he has on both at first and at home plate. Ball 1 is low and outside.
I think Elvis is going to line something into right field.
Okay.
Like right down the line.
No, in that case, go ahead and start Kinsler and let him run all the way around home.
Yeah, that's probably going to happen too.
A strike on the inside corner as Iwakuma took something off. 1-1 the count. Iwakuma just about ready to throw his 70th pitch of the night. As Kinsler at first. Ian expanding his lead a little bit. And he draws a throw from the Mariner right-hander. Rangers haven't taken the opportunity to steal many bases in the last few weeks. They kind of put the running game on hold a little bit. Kinsler, though, looked like he was getting into a running mode over there. 21 steals in 30 attempts, and for Ian, that not the kind of percentage he's used to having. Kinsler and Andrus the only one with 20 steals on the ball club. Kinsler bluffed going, and Elvis swung through a breaking ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. Andrus 4 out of 14 on the homestand. Hit in all 3 games against Cleveland, as we mentioned. Trying to move Kinsler along with something at the outfield here. Kinsler staying put, and the pitch outside. That evens the count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Elvis waiting as Iwakuma looks at the signs. Kinsler getting that lead at first. Pretty good lead by Ian this time. He's staying put, and the pitch is chopped foul. Well, we'll come back and try it again on the 2-2 count. Iwakuma nods in agreement, checks Kinsler. Sets at the letters. And the pitch outside, 3-2. Now you would think, without much doubt, that Kinsler will be moving on this pitch with 1 out, the full count.
I would.
Even though Elvis has struck out a couple times, give him a hole to shoot for somewhere if Kinsler takes off. Infield up at double play depth, which on a slick field can be a little bit dicey. Iwakuma ready. There goes Kinsler. The pitch is hit on the ground to third. That'll get the Rangers out of the double play possibility as Elvis is thrown out. Kinsler sliding into second. That removed any opportunity for Seager to start an around the horn double play. So Ian in scoring position with 2 outs now, and Josh Hamilton coming up. And we'll see what the Mariners decide to do with Hamilton, who homered his last time up. First base is open. Adrian Beltre in the on-deck circle. And see if Eric Wedge is going to allow Iwakuma to pitch to Hamilton. Montero getting down in the crouch, so apparently they will, at least for a couple of pitches, try and get Josh to maybe swing at something out of the strike zone. Hamilton 1 out of 2 with that home run. In the dirt. It's 1 ball, no strike. AT&T Uverse reverse replay. Last time, Iwakuma tried to get a fastball in on Hamilton, and it didn't stay in very long. 417 feet off of Hamilton's bat into the upper home run porch.
Yeah, I think Iwakuma thought he made a good pitch. He had a look on his face like he was surprised that Josh was able to hit that ball out of the ballpark.
Well, it was a nice pitch. Just ask Josh.
I thought Josh thought it was a really nice pitch. I thought it was a nice pitch.
Iwakuma, a couple looks at second, and the pitch to Hamilton, a rip and a miss. Pulled the string on him a bit. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. The shift on by the Mariners with only Kyle Seager, the third baseman, in his normal position on the left side of the infield. Kawasaki, the shortstop, a couple of steps on the first base side of second. In and out in shallow right field is Ackley, and way back at first is Mike Karp. 1 ball and 1 strike. Another rip and a miss on an off-speed pitch. It's 1-2.
Now here's where early in the at-bat, if you're Josh, you have to pretty much assume that you're not going to see a fastball hit. It's going to be all off-speed pitches. He's going to try to get you to chase because first base is open, and he knows what kind of hitter Josh is. He's just not going to give him a good pitch to hit. At least not on purpose.
Iwakuma again ready. Got him swinging. Gosh, couldn't lay off those pitches down out of the strike zone. Side retired. Rangers strand a runner on a hit. After 5 complete, it's the Rangers 2, the Mariners 1 on Fox Sports Southwest. Is brought to you by Geico Insurance. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. and by the all-new Mazda CX-5 with 35 highway MPG. Oh, Yu Darvish back to the hill, still leading 2-1. He will face the top of the order for the Mariners here in the 6th inning, Dustin Ackley. And ball one is low and inside. Ackley grounded to second, popped out to third. 0 for 2 tonight, and batting average dropping down a point to 231. Darvish evens the count. And a ball and a strike. Next pitch from Darvish. That slow breaking ball. This one at 67. Not the Kawasaki slow breaking ball that he dropped in at 62, but this one's still just barely above the normal speed limit. Unless you're down south of Austin, 20 miles an hour short of the speed limit. Giovanni Soto.
Take your glove off.
He did.
Use both hands.
He dropped his glove off and said, okay, what do you want to throw? He's getting frustrated.
Those are some emphatic signals right there. Okay, let's talk about it.
Yeah. What do you want to throw, big guy?
I saw Rich Billings, I think it was in Venezuela. He got so frustrated with the pitcher, he just said, just throw what you want. I'm not even going to put signs down. I'll just try to catch it. Just throw it.
I've heard a story about catchers saying that to guys. Said, go ahead and throw what you want. It's not going to get to me anyway. Now we're ready. And the 1-2 pitch. Took all that time to come up with that. 2-2. Now Darvish had 87 pitches for the evening. He has struck out 6. He's walked just 1 tonight. Giving up a run on a couple of hits. And that's been it. The 2-2. And the count has gone full.
Well, the last couple of innings, he's really struggled with the leadoff hitter. Peguero got on. Saunders had that long at bat. Then a nice quick 1-2-3 inning in the 5th. 3 strikeouts in the 5th inning.
And the payoff pitch on the way. Outside, ball 4. And that puts the tying run aboard with nobody out here in the 6th inning as Ackley draws the walk. And let's go to Jim Knox.
All right, real quick, Buzz, time for the Ranger fan of the game. It's got to be you Darvish fans right here. They came all the way in from Japan last night just to watch you pitch. They've been standing all game long. Give me your you chant, guys.
Yeah!
There we go. Very good. All right, good to have you out here. Congratulations. Let's see if you can get out of this one. Appreciate it, Buzz.
All right, Knoxy, thank you. What, no good day, mate? Saunders bunting, he pops it up behind home plate. Soto coming back, but he hadn't enough time to get there. That ball just in front of the screen. Giovanni racing back as quickly as he could, but that is strike 1. Saunders, the number 2 man in the order tonight for Eric Wedge, is fly deep to right field, and then he drew a leadoff walk in the 4th inning. Came around to score on Jesus Montero's sacrifice fly. Michael Young, the third baseman, up in front of the cut of the grass. No bunt shown this time. The pitch is low and in. And it's 1-1. I think Jim Knox has defected to the group.
Nobody but you.
Darvish looking in for the signs. Giovanni Soto going through a series of them. The 1-1 pitch. Sky to shallow right center field. Hamilton coming on. Cruz along with him. Hamilton making the call and the catch. And that is out number 1. Good pitch by Darvish. Got inside on Saunders. And got the shallow fly ball. Now Kyle Seager will come up.
Third baseman Kyle Seager.
Yeah, you know, looking back, Tom, you're right that Peguero got on to start the 3rd inning with an infield single. Then it was the 12-pitch walk to start the 4th inning. And then last inning, Peguero had a long at bat before he struck out. So
that's right. That's right. It was an out, but it was a long at bat. That's right.
And then the walk to start this inning. So one of those deals that Darvish has gotten in, maybe not quite ready mentally to face the first hitter. It was a good pitch here to Seager to start him off. It's 0-1. And you can get in traps like that. I think you get. It's not that you get complacent sitting on the bench, but you don't do something to keep your mind focused on what your job is and recreating how good you felt to end an inning when you go back out to start the next one. 0-1 pitch, and that's chopped foul. No balls, 2 strikes. That's the 8th time tonight now that Darvish has gotten an 0-2 count on a hitter. He's done a very good job of that. See that 4th inning, the only inning where he's really struggled pitch numbers wise, and that was the inning that he gave up the leadoff walk and then eventually the sacrifice fly to score the only Seattle run. No balls, 2 strikes to count to Kyle Seager. Ackley at first with a pretty good lead. And Darvish to the plate. He's fouled high in the air to the left and well back out of play. And Tom told you about Saunders being the team leader in stolen bases. The Mariners really don't steal much. They haven't since Suzuki left. Ichiro was their prime base stealer, and a couple years ago when they got Sean Figgins to come over as a free agent, they thought they would have a great 1-2 combination with Figgins and Suzuki at the top of the order. They could steal bases. They could do an awful lot of electric type things at the order, and we all know how poorly things went for Sean Figgins. He had about $130 for the first half of the first year and just has not contributed to the Mariner cause. Swing and a miss. 66 miles an hour on the slow hook. Boy, strikeout number 7.
A lot of times they use that slow hook to get ahead in the count on the first pitch of the at bat. Using it now to get the strikeout. Not a bad idea too. He got a big strikeout of Jaso. That was back in the 4th inning. We met on 2nd and 3rd and nobody out. That's pretty much the exact same pitch that Jaso saw. Slower curveball breaking straight down right on the outside corner.
So 2 gone. Here is the aforementioned John Jaso, who has struck out twice tonight. He won't strike out this time. He hits a 1-hopper right into the glove of Mitch Moreland, and that will do it. So the leadoff walk does not come back to haunt Darvish and the Rangers. 5.5 in the books. The Rangers 2, the Mariners 1 on Fox Sports Southwest. for the Sonic Slam inning, brought to you by Sonic. Tonight, the jackpot is worth $1,000 and dinner for two at Sonic Drive-In. Tonight, the Rangers are hitting for Velma Burns from Burleson. And if a Ranger hits a grand slam during this inning, Velma Burns from Burleson will win $25,000. You can register at any participating Sonic restaurant. Adrian Beltre to start things off. Hisashi Iwakuma back on the hill. This has really turned into a very good pitcher's duel between the two products of Japan's major leagues. Beltre cues one foul into the seats. It's 0-1. Adrian, a couple of fly balls to right field tonight.
Iwakuma in his last start got beat by Oakland. A lot of people have been beaten by Oakland recently, but he only pitched 3 2/3, gave up 6 hits and 4 runs in that start. Prior to that, though, in 4 starts, he'd only given up 1 run in 26 innings. He had 3 starts where he didn't give up a run. Once he got into the rotation, he's blossomed. I think a lot of people thought he'd be in the rotation to start the season, but he started the year in the bullpen.
Beltre had chopper to third. It's a fair ball. Seager fields and fires across the diamond. Beltre is retired. 1 away for Nelson Cruz. The Rangers seeing some good pitching tonight. And we'll see some tomorrow night too. And Jason Vargas, crafty left-hander, takes the mound for the Mariners. Tomorrow night, Scott Feldman will oppose Vargas. And then Matt Harrison and Blake Bevan on Sunday. Into the hole, Kawasaki, off-balance throw, not going to get him. And Cruz, an infield single. He is aboard with 1 out for Michael Young. And in Kansas City, Jeff Francoeur is at a 2-run home run to give Kansas City the lead once again. It's now 6-4 Royals over the Angels in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Well, one thing we saw from Kansas City was a pretty good late inning bullpen, so maybe they'll be able to hold that lead. Pretty good arms out in that bullpen.
Yeah, you're right. Michael Young steps in 1 for 2 tonight. Young a single in the second, a fly ball to center in the 4th inning. Cruz a very modest lead at first. Iwakuma back to the plate, and Young chops the first pitch foul. It's 0-1. Oliver Perez, the well-traveled left-hander, up and throwing in the Seattle bullpen. And we might as well keep that idea of a bullpen going well alive with the Seattle team too. They've been going gangbusters in the second half of the season.
Yeah, Perez, since he's come up, has a 1.54 ERA.
A ball or no balls and 2 strikes now to Michael Young on a couple of foul balls. Michael 6 out of 13 on this homestand. He is just getting it heated up for the month of September. Iwakuma okays the sign and checks Nelson Cruz at first. Michael laid off that slow breaking ball. 1-2 now. Rangers have had at least 1 hit in each inning. Matter of fact, they've had 1 hit in 5 of the 6 innings. They had 2 back in the 6th, in the 2nd inning. Other than that, it's been 1 in each inning. Iwakuma, as they say, has bent but not broken. He allowed just the 2 runs so far on 7 hits. And he will make a little soft toss to first. Now not going anywhere. Rain appears to have stopped completely here for a while. Don't see any umbrellas up. Still a cool evening, 64 degrees at this hour. Outside, the count's even at 2-2. Iwakuma, the 31-year-old, born in Tokyo. 86 his pitch total so far, 58 strikes. Has Cruz at first with one out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. The 2-2 to Young. Inside, and the count has gone full. But now an interesting decision. Nelly Cruz, who's been bothered a little bit by hamstring issues. We'll see if Ron Washington turns him loose on turf that is a little bit less than sure-footed tonight. 3-2 to Young with one out. Iwakuma set. And there goes Cruz. The pitch is a check swing. Cruz going back to first, but it's ball 4. And Montero says check with the first base umpire, and Paul Schreiber down there said nope, no swing. So Nelly, who had started to second, came back to first and had to go back to second. Rangers now with runners at first and second. And Eric Wedge out of the dugout. He has motion to the bullpen. He wants the left-hander Oliver Perez to come on to face David Murphy. Montero skipping a throw down there, but it was ball 4. So 2 aboard, 1 out. That'll do it for Hisashi Iwakuma tonight, as he goes 5 1/3 innings. Been charged with 2 runs on 7 hits, and he has responsibility for the 2 runners aboard at first and second. We'll be right back on Fox Sports Southwest. Oliver Perez, but Murphy 2 for 2 tonight. Our Coors Light freeze cam show you the 2 hits. Almost the same pitch, hit different directions, Tom.
Yeah, it looked like the first one might have been more of a fastball, and the next one a little bit more of an off-speed pitch, because they were the same pitch. David lined one into left and then pulled the other one. Both of them good pitcher's pitches. Not really a great pitch, either one of them, for a hitter, but David turned them into base hits because he's a good hitter.
Well, Murphy on now, and you saw the numbers on Perez. Pretty much a matchup left-hander, a one-on-one or one-hitter type of left-handed pitcher. And going against Murphy, who has had great success against left-handers this year. And the first pitch is foul back. Murphy leading the American League in hitting against left-handed pitchers. He's hitting .391 this year. And he's also second in the American League with batting with runners in scoring position. He's hitting .385, and he's got Nelly Cruz out there at second base at the bottom of your screen. Next pitch, the breaking ball hangs inside from Perez, and the count is even at 1-1.
Generally, a left-hand pitcher does not want to hang his breaking ball inside to a left-hand hitter. You're trying to get him to pull off the plate a little bit, and if you hang it inside, it's right in his wheelhouse.
Murphy lines one to short. The plate is second in time, and Cruz is doubled off. What a play by Kawasaki, the shortstop. Well, Murph hit a rope again against the left-hander, but it turns into a twin killing, and that'll do it for the Rangers in the sixth. No runs a hit, one man left. To the seventh we go. Rangers leading 2-1. More in the bottom half of the sixth inning. David Murphy scorched one toward short, and when Nelly Cruz just couldn't get back quite in time. He did the right thing. He went back at first, but he didn't realize that Kawasaki was going to be able to cover that much ground. And Ackley able to make the grab to double him off.
Yep. Double play on a ball that could have driven in a run. Kawasaki's got good enthusiasm. I like watching him play. Happy to be here. Happy to be in the big leagues.
Now, Yu Darvish back to the hill. Will go to work in the top of the seventh inning. Jesus Montero, the hitter, 0 for 1 officially. And a breaking ball drops in for strike one. Montero grounded out his first time up, then had the sacrifice fly in the fourth inning that drove home the only Seattle run thus far. Rangers have out hit the Mariners 7-2 tonight. Remember last time out, Yu Darvish against Tampa Bay gave up 2 hits in 8 innings. Came away with a no decision. He's only allowed 2, and he is working here in the 7th inning.
Darvish has averaged right at 109 pitches per start. That's the 4th most pitches averaged per start in the big leagues. No one warming up in the bullpen. This will be his 100th pitch.
The 0-2 to Montero. And that's in the dirt. And just as you say that, Tom, they're starting to get a little stirring down there in the bullpen. 70% strikes tonight for Yu Darvish. That is something. And, you know, we're talking about a guy that was walking on average of 5 per 9 innings in the first half of the season. And he has really cut that back. 1-2 pitch, chopped foul down the third base line. Michael Kirkman, the left-hander. First one up and throwing in the Ranger bullpen. Montero, the rookie catcher. Of course, he was Big part of that trade with the Yankees in the offseason. Fouls that one away to the right, and it's still 1-2. Deal that sent Michael Pineda to the Yankees, and Hector Noesi and Montero came over to the Mariners. That's been a very one-sided trade, considering Pineda hasn't thrown at all for the Yankees this year. He suffered an arm injury and had to have surgery. And Montero having a good rookie year. I think a lot of people felt he was going to be better his first year, but this young guy can do a lot of things, and he's playing a premium position too as a catcher. Darvish ready, and again the 1-2 pitch. Slowly hit on the third base side. Young charges fields and gets him. Michael Young, realizing that Montero does not run all that well, made sure of his footing and sure of his throw. Now, one away, and that'll bring up Mike Carp. Well, folks, this week on Fox Saturday Baseball, the push to the postseason continues. Fox Saturday Baseball begins at 2:30 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for the game in your area.
Buzz, I forgot to thank everybody for the treats that were sent up to us tonight. Thank you very much, everybody. If you want to see them and hear about them, you can go to the Fox Sports Southwest website, click on Tom's Treats, and get a good look at everything we got. We appreciate very much all the people that send those treats up to us.
And even if you didn't send in treats and you want to see them,
you want to get a laugh, you want to get a good laugh, go watch it.
You ought to watch that, because it's an ongoing saga. Ripping a miss by Carp. It's 0-2. This is gonna rival, I don't know, CSI New York or something like that, and and maybe Lonesome Dove.
It's up for an Emmy. I know that.
How far back do you want to go in that? It should be.
Worst example of cinematography ever made. Boy, you got the slow curveball working.
It's slower and slowest, and Carp walking back at 1 speed. Strikeout number 8 for Yu Darvish.
Well, Darvish won't have double-digit strikeouts tonight. This will probably be his last inning. But he's had 8 games with at least 10 strikeouts. That's the most in the major leagues. It's just, he's thrown a lot of cutters and a lot of sinkers, and then he still has something late in the game. If they've seen a lot of that and he figures they might be on it just a little bit, then you go to that slow curveball and they don't have a chance.
And Carlos Peguero, who struck out his last time up, takes strike 1. Peguero 1 out of 2, had that infield single, one of just 2 hits tonight given up by Darvish. 1-1 the count. Yu Darvish putting together a string of impressive starts, high strikeout totals and low hit totals, and that's a pretty good combination, along with very few walks. That's the strike there, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. And I don't think we can quite say yet that he's turned the corner and he's established himself as a quality major league pitcher the way he's going to be, but he's pretty doggone close right about now.
Yeah, last 5 starts, he's been better than that.
Yeah.
Last 5 starts, each start, 2 walks or fewer.
1-2 pitch. Got him swinging. Strikeout number 9.
Entirely different pitch to get the strikeouts late in the game.
A 1-2-3 inning. That's 6 straight now sent down by Darvish. It's 7th inning stretch time at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. 2-1 Texas on Fox Sports Southwest. And we ask you to stay as Chuck Morgan invites the fans to stand and honor America with the singing of God Bless America.
Both at home and around the world. Tonight we invite you to join in singing God Bless America with 412.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the the mountains to the prairie,
to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Couple of years ago on this date, 2010, David Murphy 3 for 5 with a couple of doubles and a home run. Rangers 11-4 winners over Detroit. 6th straight win for the Rangers. They extended the game lead in the AL West to 9 games over Oakland. Pitch outside as Giovanni Soto faces Oliver Perez to start off the 7th inning. Soto 0 for 2. Grounded out and flied to right field. Rangers leading 2-1. They have out hit the Mariners 7-2 tonight. Well, Yu Darvish, as the pitch is outside, 2-1. 2-0. Yu Darvish has given up a grand total of 7 hits in his last 3 starts.
I just love the way he went to that slow curveball the last couple of innings.
Got a little something extra. You know, and normally you think about that as being a little more velocity on the fastball late in the ballgame when you want it. Yu Darvish is one of the rare people that can throw a 65-mile-an-hour curveball and make it break like it's going 90. You know, he has that kind of spin on it. It's hard to do. 2-1 pitch, and Soto pops it up. Foul territory on the first base side. Over to take a look is Karp. Put that ball 4 rows back.
After Saunders had the long at bat and Seager doubled off the wall in center field, he went to that pitch more often. He struck Jaso out with it. Then he struck out the side. He threw a really slow one to Kawasaki. Threw a couple to strike out batters in the 7th inning. And Koji Uehara looks like he might be the 8th inning guy tonight.
Could be. Mike Adams still on the shelf with that trapezius muscle that kind of acted up on him, so he's going to take it easy another day or two. 3-2 now as Perez has run the count full to Soto.
And I guess the other question would be Joe Nathan. He's pitched 3 straight days. Maybe Uehara's the 8th inning guy, and Ogando's the 9th inning guy.
Yep. Chopper right down the line. It's in foul territory when Seager grabs it.
Or maybe Joe Nathan comes back 4 straight nights. We'll see.
The way Joe looks right now, I don't.
Doesn't look like it, does it?
Yeah.
A lot of times I watch out there in the bullpen, Buzz, and Nathan in the maybe 6th, 7th innings will get up and throw just to kind of loosen up. Is that just to see how he is, or that's one way to get loose?
I think that's his routine. He kind of gets the cobwebs out, gets a little bit started on what will be another half hour before he needs to get up and gets hot. Chop foul. Let's go down to Emily Jones.
Guys, in talking to Ron Washington, he's hesitant to say that anyone is unavailable out of the bullpen, but he did say for sure, of course, Mike Adams, who they've shut down for a couple of days with that trapezius soreness. He pretty much said probably not going to go to Joe Nathan, but he did also say that Koji Uehara was pretty iffy as well, so it looks like he might be keeping those options open, as Wash is wont to do.
Thanks, Emily. Yeah, and Koji may be the one that's getting up right now to throw and see how he feels this time of night. And if he needs to be used in the game, fine, he knows where he is. But, ideally with Darvish on the hill and an off day coming up Monday where he's going to get an extra day of rest, I think Darvish goes back out. At least I would run him back out there for the 8th inning and take one more inning off the bullpen's duty. Giovanni Soto draws a leadoff walk against Perez. He is aboard to start things, and Mitch Moreland now will come up. And let's head back to our Fox Sports Southwest studios, a Mazda game break. Here's Dana Larson. Dana? All right, Dana, thank you. And keeping up that game in New York has just gone final, at least on the scoreboard out here. And Tampa Bay has defeated the Yankees 6-4 tonight. And that, at least for the time being, drops the Yankees out of a tie for first with the Baltimore Orioles. Orioles are playing in Oakland. They are underway and playing in the bottom of the second out there.
Boy, the Yankees are battling for postseason, period. They're not guaranteed of a wild card berth either.
And Tampa Bay now only a game behind. Is it a game behind the Yankees? I believe it is.
Now they lost 3 straight in Baltimore, so they fell back a little bit.
Moreland a butt down the first baseline. That's going to be fielded in foul territory. That's right.
When they beat us.
3 games behind the Yankees.
They beat us the other day, and they moved to within a game of everybody.
Right.
And they got swept in Baltimore.
Yeah, so Baltimore right now a half-game lead on the Yankees, and the wild card standing, the Angels starting play tonight, 3.5 games back of that second wild card spot. 0-1, the count to Moreland. He's around to bunt again. Gets this one down in fair territory.
He almost got it.
He almost did. Nice play by Perez to recover and make a backhanded flip to get Mitch. But the sacrifice goes 1-3, and a good job by Mitch Moreland to get Giovanni Soto in scoring position for the top of the order.
If he'd bunted that a little bit harder, the second baseman, watch the second baseman. He's already going over toward first. He might not have been able to make the play. As it is, that's the job he was sent up there to do. Sacrifice bunt, and he gets the job done.
So with the top of the order, the right-handed hitters Kinsler and Andrews coming up. Eric Wedge out to the mound, and he has made the call to the bullpen. So the Mariners making a pitching change here in the 7th. Soto the runner at second, 1 out. Rangers leading 2-1 and looking for more here in the late innings. Pitching change underway. We'll take a timeout and be right back after this. As part of Fox NFL Sunday. Coverage begins with the Built Ford Tough Fox NFL pregame show at 11 a.m. Central. Check your local listings for the games in your area. Now the 33-year-old right-hander Josh Kinney has answered the call coming out of the bullpen, and he will face the top of the order for the Rangers. Giovanni Soto at second base. Rangers leading 2-1.
Pretty good numbers for Kinney. Kinney's pitched 25 innings, only given up 15 hits. Opponents are hitting well under 200 against him. Has walked a few guys, though. 14 walks in 25 minutes.
And Kinney signed with the Mariners in the offseason as a minor league free agent. Was released by the White Sox. Pitched in 13 ball games last year with Chicago. Came up originally with St. Louis back in 2006. And here he is facing the Rangers here tonight. And Ian Kinsler, who is 2 for 3, a home run and a single. Soto, the runner at second, as Kinney comes set. Couple of looks back there. And the pitch to Kinsey. He's going to bunt. Gets it. Kinney gets off the mound to make the play. The throw to second doubles off Soto.
Same way the last inning ended.
How about that? Kinsler came within an eyelash of dropping it in for a bunt. It turns into a 1-4 double play, and the Rangers' 7th comes to a close. Nobody left on base. We're going to the 8th inning. It's the Rangers 2 and the Mariners 1 on Fox Sports Southwest. Southwest is brought to you by Ace Cash Express, earning your trust since 1968. And by Jack in the Box. Get the All-American Jack Combo, a no-nonsense burger, fries, and a drink for only $4.99 plus tax. Now we go to the 8th inning, and Yu Darvish's night is finished. 7 strong innings of work by Darvish, just 2 hits. 1 run, it was earned, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts. And Koji Uehara will come on for the 29th time this year. And see if he can shut down the Mariners here in the 8th inning.
Yeah, Koji with an excellent strikeout to walk ratio. 28 strikeouts, only 3 walks. Opponents are hitting below 200 against him. Throwing the ball really well right now. First time we've seen him in this role, pitching in the 8th inning with a 1-run lead. Generally, it's been Mike Adams, maybe Ogando. Some guys aren't available tonight, and it's Koji tonight.
And this is the 4th straight day that Koji has been out there. Pitched in all 3 games of the Cleveland series. And that was the first time, those 3 back-to-back-to-back games, the first time in a year that he'd done that. Well, this is his 19th appearance in the 18 games since he has come off the disabled list. And a swing and a miss. And the first pitch he throws. Trayvon Robinson is the hitter. Robinson, the switch hitter. 0 for 2 against Yu Darvish tonight with a strikeout. Rip and a miss on the splitter. No balls, 2 strikes. Now, Koji Uehara sometimes almost like the forgotten man in the back end of that bullpen until you get into a situation like this where you don't have Mike Adams and may not want to use Joe Nathan. Kinsler fields that ground ball and fires to first. 1 away as Robinson grounds out.
Yeah, the other thing about Koji, last year he'd pitched a lot. He's a little tired by the end of the year. He's given up a lot of home runs, but with all the time off he's had, he should be right in mid-season form right now. He doesn't have many innings. Probably one of the reasons Wash is using him as frequently as he is right now. Pretty fresh.
And the scheduled hitter, Minonori Kawasaki, has been called back. And it will be Luis Jimenez coming off the bench. The left-handed hitter up there to face Koji. Jimenez steps in with no at-bats so far at the big league level. I take that back. He was in yesterday's ball game, went 0 for 4.
I wished he had no at-bats.
I was going by the scoreboard before I could find him on my stat sheet, and yeah.
Well, probably for your debut against the Rangers, not the easiest guy to face. Koji has that good splitter, has fooled a lot of veteran hitters, let alone young rookie hitters. Way ahead in the count now, 0-2.
Got him swinging.
A good combination. Good splitters down and high fastballs.
So Jimenez, the pinch hitter, down on strikes. 2 gone, and Dustin Ackley will come to the plate. That is 10 strikeouts between Darvish and Uehara tonight, and Rangers pitching staff continuing to pile up the punch-outs. They are on pace to set an all-time record for the franchise by quite a few. Ackley a swing and a miss. Dustin Ackley drew a walk his last time up. Other than that, has popped out and grounded out. Uehara back to the plate. That's the outside corner. That splitter again.
I'd say he's pretty sharp, Buzz. Hadn't thrown a ball yet.
I know it.
He's thrown 8 pitches, 7 or 8 pitches. They've all been strikes.
And Ron Washington likes it. He's excited to see Uehara throwing like this. Koji to the line, the 0-2 pitch. Got him swinging. Back-to-back strikeouts. Uehara a 1-2-3 8th inning. The Mariners are gone in order. We will go to the bottom of the 8th. It remains the Rangers 2 and the Mariners 1 on Fox Sports Southwest. 10 o'clock right here on Fox Sports Southwest for Chevy Hometown Kids. It's not about the score, it's about the experience. Visit www.hometownkids.tv for more information. And a lot of kids out here enjoying the cool evening this Friday night of Ranger baseball. 2-1 Texas. And Elvis Andrews starting off the bottom of the 8th inning against Josh Kenny, and he looks at strike one. Elvis, a ground ball and a couple of strikeouts tonight. 0 for 3. Kenny came on to get the double play on the bunt off of Ian Kinsler's bat to end the 7th inning. And now he's back out there for the 8th, and he's gotten the jump on Elvis at 0-2. Seventh inning, the first time tonight the Rangers did not have a base hit in an inning. They have 7 for the night. Both runs, however, coming on solo home runs. They pitch wide, and it goes to a ball and 2 strikes. You scoreboard watchers, they've gone to the top of the 8th inning in Kansas City. The Royals leading the Angels 7-5. Fouled back by Enders, and the count remains 1-2. And in Oakland, Baltimore out to an early lead over the Athletics, 1-0 as they play in the top of the 3rd inning. Baltimore an opportunity with a win out there to move into sole possession of first place. They assured themselves by winning yesterday of having a better than .500 record for the first time since 1997. Breaking ball hit well to left center field. Going back is Robinson. It is over his head and off the wall. Elvis to second will pull up there with a leadoff double. 29th two-bagger of the year for Elvis Andrews.
Got a breaking ball up, and Elvis got a pretty good piece of it. For a second, Robinson might have a chance to make that catch, but it sailed right over his head. And we're going to go to the left-hand pitcher to face Josh Hamilton. That's the old hanging curveball right there. Stayed inside, and Elvis was ready for it.
Well, Eric Wedge to the mound again. He will take the ball from Josh Kenny and wait for the left-hander to come on. So Elvis with the leadoff double. Rangers trying to get some insurance here in the 8th inning. With the pitching change underway, we will take a timeout. Be right back on Fox Sports Southwest. it is. Give us a preview of Rangers Live. John?
Yeah, up here in the catbird seat, Buzz, and what a great view we have. Rangers Live comes your way immediately following the game. We'll show you how this team can be vastly different. The Rangers, vastly different tomorrow. We'll tell you about that. Of course, lots of post-game reaction from this one as well. We'll go inside the clubhouse with Emily Jones. It's perspective and analysis coming your way right after the game on Rangers Live, Buzz.
All right, John, thank you. Now, a pitching change, and the Texan Lucas Litke has come on to face Josh Hamilton with Elvis at second base and nobody out, and Josh a wave and a miss. And Litke's a breaking ball. Litke, a 25-year-old, born in Brenham, Texas, grew up in and lives in Industry, Texas, out of San Jacinto Junior College, and he went to Rice University for a year.
The lefties have only hit 169 against him, and Josh is going to have to lay off that pitch. That's all he's going to see. Last time up, first base open. That's all Iwakuma threw him was off-speed pitches out of the strike zone.
No balls, 2 strikes.
There you go.
Laid off that one. So it's 1-2. And Alexi Ogando, there's the answer to your question, Tom, about tonight.
Yep.
Looks like Alexi's going to be the guy to come in and pitch the 9th inning. The 1-2 pitch. And again, Hamilton able to lay off that. Evens things up at 2-2. Rangers with 8 hits tonight. 2 solo home runs, however, we counted for both runs. And Hamilton has one of those, his 42nd of the year, back in the 3rd inning. Litke ready. And again, the breaking ball outside, and Josh able to say, nope, don't want it. So he's worked the count from 0-2 to 3-2. And if Josh is able to get aboard, the man after him, Adrian Beltre, would have a shot at Litke with some important runs on. Payoff pitch. Swung on and just fouled by Hamilton a little tiny bit. Just did get the piece of the bat on it to stay alive. Almost a carbon copy of the first 5 pitches that he saw. Elvis getting his lead from second. And again, the 3-2 pitch. Line hard to right field. Starting in and now going back too late is Peguero. The ball's over his head. Elvis being waved around. Here comes the relay throw. The slide, he's safe.
Oh, that was a dangerous call by Dave at third base. Elvis just barely made it in. He was going to tag up if Peguero caught it. It got to the wall, so he didn't get a great jump coming from second. But he cut the bag closely at third. Head first dive, got the hand in just barely under Montero's tag. And that one hung. He threw him 6 straight pitches out of the strike zone and then hung number 7, and Josh hit it.
Well, an RBI double for Hamilton, his second RBI of the night, as you get a second look at it. And in the meantime, they are going to intentionally walk Adrian Beltre to put runners at first and second for Nelson Cruz.
Well, Josh in that at bat did what he had to do. He laid off the pitches out of the strike zone, just fouled one that was out of the strike zone, and then finally after 6 pitches, the 7th one was hung. Tough to throw 7 straight pitches exactly where you wanted to, and Litke couldn't do it.
Yeah, especially when you know you're not trying to throw it in the strike zone. That goes, you know, a couple pitches, yeah, but when you're trying to throw every pitch either perfectly on the outside corner or down out of the strike zone every time, you're bound to make a mistake in there somewhere.
Just barely got his arm under there. If he doesn't put his elbow on the ground, leaves it hanging up there, Montero might have been able to tag his elbow. Nope, he was in there ahead of it. Great slide.
Well, the intentional walk is the last that Lucas Littke is asked to do by Eric Wedge. He's out there to the mound again. He wants a right-hander to come on to face Nelly Cruz. The Rangers have gotten an insurance run. They lead 3-1, looking for more when we come back on Fox Sports Southwest. Available for potential postseason series, including the Batter's Eye Club in center field. Game day suites offer first-class accommodations for from 20 to 100 business associates, family, or friends. Get your group together and visit TexasRangers.com/suites today or call 972-RANGERS. Stephen Pryor, 23-year-old right-hander, on to face Nelly Cruz with runners at first and second and nobody out. A run across here in the 8th inning. You can get a look at Pryor's numbers. Pryor, the Mariners' 5th round draft selection in the 2010 draft. And the hard-throwing right-hander misses low for ball 1. Cruz 1 for 3 tonight. Had an infield single his last time up. And Nelly snapping out of what has been a rough streak for him with that base hit. Seeing if he can get a run or two more home here in the 8th inning. Taps that pitch foul, and the count is now even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Cruz stepping back into the box as Hamilton at second base. Adrian Beltre, the runner, at first. Pryor a check and the pitch. Good fastball strike. It's 1-2. Now the right-hander again back to the plate, misses outside. That will even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Eric Wedge watching his young right-hander who has done a very good job considering this time last year he was throwing at either A ball or double A ball for the Mariners. Now here he is in the big leagues and pitching well. That pitch fouled back. Pryor from Donaldson, Tennessee, to Cleveland State Community College. Also attended Tennessee Tech University. Ready for the 2-2 pitch. On outside, Nelly Cruz laying off a tough one. And the count has gone full. Crowd here of over 45,000 tonight. 45,075, and they are making some noise. Rangers leading 3-1. They want more. Payoff pitch. Call strike 3, and Cruz knew it.
Threw him a slider. Mostly fastballs until the last pitch. Pretty tough to be ready for a slider when the guy's throwing all 96-mile-an-hour fastballs. But caught the corner with it.
Well, that is out number 1. Runners still at first and second. And Michael Young stepping into the plate. And Young has been on a pretty good roll of getting clutch run-scoring hits. 1 for 2 tonight. Average at 270 as he steps in against Stephen Pryor. Way outside. Montero had to backhand it. 1 ball and no strikes. Michael with an RBI in 9 of his last 13 games. And that coming on the heels of having just 1 RBI in the previous 20, as Hamilton out there at second base and Beltre at first. Ball 2 is low and away. Rangers came into the inning 0 for 6 tonight with runners in scoring position, but Josh Hamilton got them off the over by doubling over the head of Carlos Peguero in right field, driving in Elvis Andrus. Pryor has the sign. And the 2-0 pitch. Michael, a good rip at that fastball. 2-1. You can see that. That's about as disgusting as Michael Young ever looks.
Well, he had a fastball count. He had a good fastball to hit. He's a good fastball hitter. We get another one.
Pryor back to him. Tried the slider and left it high. It's 3-1. Chuck Morgan encouraging the fans, and they don't need a lot of encouragement, but they're getting just what they want, making some noise. The 3-1 pitch. Low ball 4. That will load him up for David Murphy. The bane of a manager's existence, the base on ball.
Well, that's a tough spot for one right there. You got David Murphy, one of the top 10 hitters in the league, up now with a man in scoring position with less than 2 outs. And on third base with less than 2 outs.
And Murph tonight, 2 out of 3. It could very easily have been 3 out of 3.
And that third one would have driven in a run.
And now Kawasaki turned that into a double play. That line shot in the 6th inning. David up there now with the bases full, and the Mariners down by a couple have to pull their infield in. First pitch to Murph. Chopper to the right side. Coming home. The throw is in the dirt and safe at home. It pulled Montero off of the plate.
Sure did. He bounced it in. He had time to make the play. Bounced it in, and the Rangers benefit from it.
Well, Ackley's throw to the plate bounced, and Montero had to come off to block the ball, so it didn't get by him. And that pulled his foot off home plate, and Hamilton scored. It's 4-1 Texas.
Plenty of time to make the throw. He just rushed it and threw it right into the ground. Montero did a good job just to block the ball. No chance to make the play, though.
Well, that's going to go, I believe, as a fielder's choice and an error. Error allowing Hamilton to score, and the reasoning being if the throw was accurate, they would have had the force. So no RBI for Murphy. But it puts a run up on the board for the Rangers, and they now lead by 3. And Giovanni Soto up there with a chance to really make this a big inning. Soto 0 for 2 with a walk tonight.
Same situation as last night. Bottom of the 8th, 1 out, bases loaded. Giovanni hit the ball hard right at the shortstop, and they turned a double play. Rangers were unable to add on to the 2-run lead, and Cleveland came back and scored 3 in the top of the 9th.
Yeah, the Mariners still with their infield all the way in. Beltre coming down the line from third. Pitch to Soto is popped foul. That will reach the seats on the first base side. And it's 2-2. So the Rangers, a rarity tonight, benefiting from 2 errors that the Mariners, who lead the major leagues in fielding, have committed. Dustin Ackley, the second baseman, making the latest one. Beltre at third, Young at second, Murphy at first. Soto awaiting the 2-2 pitch. That's popped up. That will be in the seats right below us, as a matter of fact. And we'll try it again. Well, the Angels have rallied to take the lead up in Kansas City. They lead the Royals now 8-7 as Kansas City's batting. And Oakland has put up a 2 spot. They are still batting in the bottom of the 4th inning. Cespedes, Yoenis Cespedes, the 2-run home run. Belted to left field. Into the corner is Robinson. He's at the wall. He reaches up. He can't get it. 1 run at home. Murphy going to third as Young scores. Into second with a 2-run double is Giovanni Soto, and the Rangers lead 6-1.
What the Rangers didn't do last night was add on to the lead. Tonight they do.
So Giovanni Soto snapping an 0 for 14 with his 6th double of the year, and he drives in 2 more runs. He now has 19 in a Ranger uniform.
Thought it was a home run off the bat. Then it looked like Robinson might be able to catch it. He gave it a great try, boy. He went as hard as he could into the wall. All-out effort. Great try.
Just by that much. Now the Rangers put up a crooked number on the board. A 4 spot in the 8th. Mitch Moreland looking for more, and he takes outside. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Moreland, a sacrifice bunt his last time up. Other than that, 0 for 2 as he has flied out a couple of times. He has Murphy at third, Soto at second. Mariner infield still pulled all the way in with just 1 out. And low and outside goes ball 3. Beltre scoring, looking back behind him to make sure Michael Young wasn't going to run up his back.
It's fun when you're scoring runs.
Yeah, it is. 3-0 pitch is outside. Moreland draws the 4-pitch walk. And that will load them up for Ian Kinsler, the 9th hitter to come to the plate here in the 8th inning. Carl Willis, pitching coach, going to go out and have a talk with young Stephen Pryor. Pryor has walked a couple. He has struck out 1. The only out of the inning. Giving up that 2-run double to Giovanni Soto. Conference on the mound, virtually the entire infield is joining in. Michael Kirkman loosening up in the Ranger bullpen, so it would appear that Kirkman will probably come in to pitch the 9th inning instead of Ogando. I think Ron Washington saving some bullets out there. Ogando had thrown 2 of the last 3 nights. So if Michael Kirkman can come on in, whatever the score happens to be, plus past 6-1 or at 6-1, it would help the Ranger cause. Speed pitch to Kinsler on the first pitch, and he was thinking fastball and didn't get it. It's 0-1. in 2 for 4 tonight. Got this all started just about 3 hours ago with his leadoff home run. Good rip at a fastball there. 0-2 now the count. Ginzer now with 9 home runs since the start of the 2011 season against the Mariners. And he goes after a high fastball, can't catch it there. That is out number 2. And it will bring Elvis Andrus up for his second time this inning. Andrus got this inning started by doubling to left center field. He came around to score on Josh Hamilton's double to right. And the gates were opened at that point. Infield for the Mariners now back at normal depth with 2 outs. And Elvis a big rip and a miss. It's 0-1. See the outfield shading Elvis a step or so toward right field. And again, the right fielder Carlos Peguera playing very, very shallow. 0-1 pitch. Did he check his swing? No, he did not. First base umpire Paul Schreiber says, nope, not that time. It's 0-2.
Good call.
Murphy, Soto, and Moreland. Third, second, and first. The 0-2 pitch, and Elvis fouls back a good fastball. Pryor heating that up to 98.
And Pryor's going to throw his 29th pitch coming into this inning as the second pitcher of the inning. Actually, the third pitcher of the inning.
And the slider stays up high. It's 1-2 now. Well, the Mariners have had to use 46 pitches so far, and they haven't gotten the third out yet in this inning. The 1-2. Elvis to right center field. That is down, and it's going to the wall. Murphy scores. Soto scores. Moreland coming around third. He'll score. Into third with a headfirst dive. Elvis Andrus. A 3-run triple. It is 9-1 Texas.
It's not bad. A double and a triple in the same inning. He started it, and maybe he finished it.
He finished Stephen Pryor, we know that, because Eric Wedge is back out to the mound.
They had him 0-2, and they grooved one. Elvis was definitely ready for it.
Well, that will do it for Pryor as he gets a couple of outs, but he leaves with a lot of damage in the wake of his appearance tonight. And Elvis Andrus and the Rangers exploding here in the 8th inning. So another pitching change underway, and we will take another short timeout. Be right back after this on Fox Sports Southwest. frame, and Sean Kelly, the right-hander, has come on, and he's facing Josh Hamilton with Elvis Andrus at third base. Rangers now 9 runs on 11 hits. 1-0 pitch is skied to left field, hit pretty well. Backing up is Robinson, but he's in front of the warning track as he puts it away, and that will do it. The Rangers send 11 men to the plate, 7 of them score. We're going to the ninth. Texas 9 and Seattle 1 on Fox Sports Southwest. On Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by the Built Ford Tough Truck Event. Enjoy huge savings on America's best-selling truck for 35 years running. Ford is the best in Texas. Now, Ranger fans got their wish. They saw an explosion here tonight of fireworks display as the Rangers erupted for 7 runs in that 8th inning, and now lead 9-1 as Michael Kirkman comes in to take over on the hill in the 9th inning. Michael, the 25-year-old left-hander, soon to be 26. As a matter of fact, in 4 days, Michael will turn 26 out of Lake City, Florida. And some defensive changes for the Rangers. Jurickson Profar has come on to play shortstop, and coming in to play first base, Brandon Snyder. In center field, Craig Gentry will take over for Josh Hamilton. First hitter that Kirkman will face is Michael Saunders. And a rip and a miss. It is 0-1. Big thing for Michael Kirkman here is to come in and throw strikes for himself. That has been a little problematic for him at times. Matter of fact, in spring training, that was the only thing that stood between him and making the spot in the bullpen coming out of spring training. But he was not able to do that consistently. Robbie Ross was, and despite Ross's lack of experience above Double-A, he won the spot as the left-hander in the bullpen. No balls, 2 strikes. Pretty good breaking ball, but Saunders able to check his swing. It's 1-2. So Yu Darvish on the line for the win tonight. It would be his 15th of the year. Koji Uehara worked a very effective and efficient 8th inning for Ron Washington's club. Good check swing on a breaking ball. He did not go around, says Laz Diaz, the third base umpire. And the count is even at 2-2. Koji came on and struck out 2 in the 8th inning. Through 9 pitches, all of them were strikes.
He was just as sharp tonight, maybe sharper than he was last night. Had the same kind of inning last night.
Kirkman's 2-2 pitch coming. And Saunders chops it foul to stay alive. Remember, Saunders leading off the fourth inning had a 12-pitch at bat against Yu Darvish, and the only inning that Darvish came anywhere close to struggling tonight. Mariners able to put the leadoff walk that Saunders drew with the double off the bat of Kyle Seager, and then a sacrifice fly to produce their only run of the evening. Just outside, and the count has gone full now to Saunders. And Tom told you the on-base percentage of the Mariners just .294 as a team. That is dead last. Saunders drives one to right field and hit deep. Cruz going back. He pulls up, and that ball's gone into the Ranger bullpen. Michael Saunders with his 15th home run of the year, and it is a 9-2 Ranger lead.
Well, that's what happened in last night's ball game. Leadoff hitter hit a home run in the top of the ninth inning. Problem tonight is for Seattle, a lot more runs on the board for the Rangers. Carrera hit that home run last night. Made it a one-run game.
And that lefty matchup advantage kind of goes away when you go 3-2. You've seen a lot of pitches, and you get into fastball count, and most big league hitters can deal with that pretty well. Seager shooting one to the gap in left center field. In a hurry is Gentry. He can't get there. Plays it on a hop into second base with a slide is Seager. A home run to start the ninth. Now an opposite gap double. Seager, his second two-bagger of the night, is aboard. And John Jaso is coming to the plate. Mike Maddox is going to the mound. Mike, slow things down a little bit for Michael Kirkman and give the bullpen an opportunity to get somebody going. Now Baltimore's come back to tie up Oakland out in the Bay Area. Bottom of the fifth inning. Chris Davis, a solo home run. It's 2-2 game out there now. Again, in case you missed it before, the Yankees were beaten by Tampa Bay tonight, 6-4. So the Orioles a chance to move into sole possession of first place with a win, as you see Yoshi Tadayama getting loose in the Ranger bullpen. Jaso 0 for 3 tonight. A couple of strikeouts and a ground out. Broken bat. Business into the bat going all the way into shallow right field as Kinsler comes in to field the ball and throwing out. On to third goes Seager. He's there with one away, and that is a major league saw-off job there. Man. Where's this bat go?
Boy, that's dangerous too.
Yeah.
That's the heavy part of the bat. Just sharp. Sharp as an arrow.
Jesus Montero 0 for 2. He has had an RBI on a sac fly. He takes a good fastball on the inside corner from Kirkman. Rangers obviously leading 9-2. Play the infield back with one out and a runner at third. It's just a matter now of finding a way to get the next 2 outs. Seager down there at third means very little to anybody but Michael Kirkman as far as his stats are concerned. Line drive to left field. Murphy coming on. He dives. He can't get it. A short hop attempt, and it goes off his glove. In to score is Seager. And Montero with the RBI single makes it a 9-3 Ranger lead. Well, a good effort by David Murphy. I think that ball might have gone down a little bit on him with a little topspin.
Concentration, but it bounces a little bit in front of his glove.
A 3 hits in the inning, a couple of runs now, and with Montero at first, Mike Karp is the hitter. First pitch way inside for ball one. Carp, a couple of strikeouts and a ground ball to second. And that one down. It gets through the legs of Giovanni Soto. So down to second goes Montero.
Well, it's kind of a sloppy inning, but that big 7-run inning for the Rangers gave them a very nice cushion to withstand it.
I would imagine they'd probably call that a pass ball.
Yeah,
I don't think.
A little careless.
Mike Maddox calling down to the bullpen. They had Yoshinori Tateyama up and loosening, and I don't know if Mike wanted to get somebody up along with Yoshi, or if they wanted to let Yoshi know he was coming into the ball game. Two balls, no strikes, the count to Carp. Line drive, base hit to left field. Stopping at third is Montero as Murphy gets the ball back in. And runners at the corners. Still just one out, and folks getting a little bit restless around here.
And the alarming thing about the inning is the left-hand hitters. Saunders, a left-hand hitter, hit the home run. Seager, a left-hand hitter, doubled. And then Carp just ripped that ball hard into left field. So all the left-hand hitters except Jaso, who got sawed off for the ground ball to second, have hit the ball hard. Another one right here in Peguero.
Soto taking a little time as he went out to talk to Kirkman. One out, runners at first and third. A couple of runs across. Carlos Peguero tonight, 1 for 3. Peguero struck out his last 2 times to the plate after getting an infield single back in the third inning. Here goes the runner from first, and pitch is swung on and missed. A breaking ball as Mike Carp, not being held aboard, and took second on defensive indifference. Kirkman comes set, and the 0-1 pitch. Chop foul. Say one thing for Peguero, he does not get cheated. Well, when he takes a swing,
yeah, he scares you. He strikes out about half the time. I'd almost like to go. I'm going to watch batting practice tomorrow, see where he hits him. It looks like he can hit him a long way. I want to see him do it in the game.
The 0-2. Got him swinging.
He struck out. He's got a base hit, and he struck out 3 times tonight.
The first strikeout from Kirkman, and he's 1 out away now from putting this thing away. Good breaking ball from the left-hander. So now Michael will face Trayvon Robinson. The switch hitter will turn around to bat from the right side for the first time tonight.
Peguero now has been up 56 times and struck out 28 of them.
Well, half the time. That's just about right.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it is. Good breaking ball, and Kirkman gets ahead in the count, 0-1. Ron Washington probably getting a little bit impatient about putting this thing away. He'd like to have had it done a little more smoothly. 0-1 pitch. Little nubber down the first base side. It goes off into foul territory, and Mariners down to their final strike. Most of the crowd of 45,075 have stayed around. And watching Yu Darvish get ready to chalk up win number 15 for the year. They moved to 15-9 after an outstanding 7-inning effort tonight. Kirkman's 0-2 pitch. Jet swing on a ball in the dirt. It's 1-2. Want to remind everybody tomorrow at the 7:05 game, be Scott Feldman and Jason Vargas. You'll be able to see it on KTXA 21 in Dallas Fort Worth area. Fox Sports Southwest and KTXA switch nights. Normally this is Friday night baseball on TXA 21, but Fox took it tonight and TXA tomorrow. Ground ball to Young at third. Across the diamond, and that will do it. So the Mariners score a couple of times in the ninth, but leave a couple aboard, and the Rangers win the first of this 3-game weekend series, the final 9-3. Rangers win it. Yu Darvish with his 15th one of the year. He's now 15-9 for the season. Hisashi Iwakuma drops to 6-5, and the Rangers are back to a season high 28 games over 500. They are 86-58, and they are back now to 20 games over 500 at home at 46-26. For the moment, the lead in the AL West is 3.5 over the Oakland A's, pending the outcome of their game with Baltimore. Well, the Rangers now an 8-6 season series lead against the Seattle Mariners. They're 5-3 here. Mariners, meanwhile, continuing this road trip. It saw them win 2 out of 3 in Toronto, but they dropped the opener here, and they are now 2-2 on this 4-game road trip. Let's head down to the field where Emily Jones is standing by with Josh Hamlin. Emily.